Hey, to our people, I think I started the show like a minute early. I apologize. You're welcome. You're welcome from everywhere you're calling from. Hopefully, we got a better connection today. Let me just make sure here there is no echo of any sort. I think I clear it up, but I just want to be absolutely sure this is exactly how it's supposed to be. To make sure this is clear up. Uh, let's see. Hopefully. All right, people. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, I see no feedback so far, and hopefully it stays like that today. I want to welcome you guys, man. There's a lot happening in the country today. A lot of people are weighing, but our president sent a powerful message today, and we intend to dwell on our message here. Currently, it's approximately 4 p.m. here on the east coast of the United States. Those of you guys who are coming in Liberia, I know it's roughly 8 p.m. In Liberia. I know most of you guys are home. Well, thank you for joining the conversation. I mean, if you're watching on your TV or you're watching on your phone, you're looking on the screen, you see what it says on the screen. It says, "Say no to drugs in Liberia. Our future, our choice, drug-free Liberia. This is what we push for. We must jealously safeguard the future of our children. This is not up for grabs. We must secure Liberia, and in the words of President Wakai, we must think Liberia, we must love Liberia. And together we must build Liberia and include protection of Liberia as well." I want to continue to welcome you guys here, man. Right now, to you guys that are listening in Liberia, we say you're welcome. You're welcome, Judy. Upon you, welcome, my brother. How are you doing? You're in Gay Town, welcome. Taje Zuamiter is watching from Lomé, Togo. People way out there in Togo, man. How you doing, my brother? Welcome to the show. To my own brother here, Mohammed Rogers, Mr. Rogers, welcome. He's watching from GSA Rose in our Hill community. Mohammed Momo Rogers, Mr. Momo, welcome to the show. Alexander Babian, welcome to the show out of Bellsville, Maryland, USA. How are you doing? Elizabeth Matu Tubman White, Madam White. Elizabeth is watching out of New York City or New York, somewhere in New York. Libois Temwe, welcome to the show, man. How are you doing? Famata Lejima is watching us here. Thank you for the conversation and thank you for popping in here. You know, sometimes it's just good to start a show. We relax small. You know, that begin with small food. I begin with travel. I begin with travel. I begin with travel. JMV, some with travel. They begin get noise. But today, one of the greatest things in Liberia, our in Liberia built diagnostic center so our people cannot go die in India. Our people cannot come here to America to die. They cannot go to Ghana and die. I believe personally that man has a right to die in the arms of his own people. And this is a big deal that we can build a facility in Liberia where we can properly diagnose people, and then we build the infrastructure, the hospitals, etc., to be able to take care of our own people at home. Let's watch JMB song where it's much more lead running all around.
Fellow mental see what you see Liberians. Liberians, you see something. That's the president we're talking about. You see it. Now see a keep phone government here. The president broke down for 8 December. See it now. This is the National Clinical Diagnosis Center that the president broke down for it. Liberians, you see it. Today the 6th of August. You don't go, you don't scroll, you like the video. You see massive. Can see something. So yeah, can see the first center there. That the first gate here that will enter in the diagnosis center. So you see the security, you see there, you see the center there, you see up there, you see the center there. This is the security booth. You see the security booth, you see oh yeah, see, and the place have 3 elevators, right? Then they get a mirror for the disabled people, our brothers and sisters, who can walk on it. So they will be putting them on the wheelchair. They own a place here. That area, in lawyer man give me. We are behind the 14 military hospital on our side. They did a groundbreaking in December. In December, they did it on our side. You see it now. This is a consistent. You make sure you like the video. You share the video. You share the video. That simple last. So consistently. You see everywhere looking good. Oh, you make sure you like the video. You share. Look at development. 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 Can't see Sonny. You bluffy. You said JMB can't say this. Look at development. Look, papi. Look at development. Look at today the 6th of August, Thursday. Look, show it all around. Show it all around. Let us see it. And that place you see right here. That yellow advanced data there will be sleeping and then on the horse here. They place here. They place. What's up, boy? I'm not here to feed that child. Yo. So you see here. So your money. What's up? So this is the backside of it. You can see this is the backside. You can see the raft. And this side you see here.
And I call this short, the place is massive. I will pick him and I hear the few days he travel. I want to hear him begin. I want to hear the few days I travel. Yeah, Sibo Laze. Tell me this is not something massive in our country. We're not securing funding, yo. Now, Sibo talking, I'm not going to say that Opa talking. We're not securing funding, we are building. This country will get built. Big shout out to JMB Song for always highlighting this across our country. And this is a good thing. We must develop our own country. We must have dignity in Liberia because this is our heritage. To President Bwaka and his team, we salute you continuously. My brother Dwana is here watching. Mr. Flomo Livingston. Yeah, the beginning of my Sibo Laze, Arthur Butler. Mr. Butler out of Wadena, Minnesota. Welcome to the show, my brother. Over here, I see Clarence Benton out of Ontario, Canada. Rebecca K. Tyre, Prince, Moavi, Jacob. Mr. Jacob, how are you doing? Priscilla Clinton, Morrisville, Pennsylvania. How you doing? Famata and Gay. Hello, my sister. How you doing there? We are civilizing everything in the country because Liberia is making tremendous progress and we're not going to stop. In fact, you're not listening to the superintendent from Grand Crew County Small. Where is it?
I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so happy and so joyful right now. In fact, to see the smile on the people's faces, the agriculture ministry is taking agriculture and taking the government to the people through agriculture and trying to empower them through the medium they're trying to use, cattle raising, coconut or plantation, and other things to come. I'm overwhelmed. The fact that the two grain crew, I'm excited about.
What this means to you as county superintendent?
Oh, it means that I have to double up, work with my people, make sure all these things that they're bringing, the people take care of it, monitor the farmers, make sure you guide them on how to do the work. And you work along with them. It's not just them. No, you work along with them to make sure we end up with a success.
Yes, Grand Crew County rising. Big shout out to our people in Grand Crew County. Madam Superintendent, who are our people with two hands. Anything the government give you, you must stretch it. You must make it better. I want you to copy what the likes of Miampe Gono is doing in the mighty Nima County. I want you to copy exactly what is happening in Grand Bassa County and beyond. All the county superintendents across our country. When the paper give you $5, you must stretch it to $10. Big shout out to Grand Crew County and the celebrations happening up there. We are opening new industries in our location. The agriculture ministry are doing some great things in Grand Crew County. We want to say to our people in the Southeast, President Bwaka will bring your government to you for so long, from time immemorial. As far back as I can remember, we have forgotten this location of Liberia. It has been cut off from the rest of the country. President Bwaka has connected the Southeast to the rest of the country. It is time for us to build the Southeast and bring it into the bosom of Mama Liberia as it should have been a long time ago. I want to continue to welcome you guys. Tana Cooper, welcome to the show. My brother Abdul Touare, how are you doing out of Freetown, Sierra Leone? Welcome to the show. Teresa Combo, welcome. Vera Horace is here. Abraham B. Wilson is out of Morovia. Somebody named just went by very fast. Sorry. Celestine G. Madison. Madam Madison, how you doing, ma? How's everything with you? Welcome to the show. Who I may see here? I think I got everybody. But look, a lot of things happen in the country, and this is something that we have to talk about. There is this tendency in Liberia where people feel, well, they misunderstood the intent of free speech in our society. I cannot yet get a quick. I say Gina is a hardcore criminal. When somebody asked me, I say that free speech. Free speech, yes, for somebody in the open gender that Let's listen to the current Foreign Affairs Minister. She doesn't normally do this, but it's only fitting that she respond to some of the accusations that are coming from out there.
Weta has led a very focused, a very principled, and a very structured strategic fight against drugs in Liberia. And the objective is that Liberia will not become an African state. He's always maintained, also, President Weta has said to us at cabinet level and even in bilateral conversations, he will not run his government in social media. He will not run his government on propaganda. And that clarity of purpose has guided how we engage as well. I will not be speaking today if it were not important. Lies against me, my person, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they have been there since 2023. They are not new. But what is new? What is new is the extent to which these lies undermine the fight against drug trafficking in Liberia. It undermines a highly credible investigation, and it undermines Liberia's positioning in the world. It's a new positioning, and that's new. And so, in that regard, then I must speak. We are leading as a Voice of Africa this month, starting August 1. Right now, Liberia is coordinating the E10, the 10 countries that are elected to the Security Council, of a 15-member council. We are leading all the non-permanent members this month. So everything that's happening in relation to the Security Council, Liberia is leading the A3 and the E10. This is a major position for Liberia.
Yes, we want to remove that. Somebody just said there is an echo. I hope I'm coming in right. I thought that was erased. But if you hear it in echo, please let me know. Daniel Hiama, welcome to the show. Kamu Sili. Yes, you heard the Foreign Affairs Minister, the smear campaign to implicate anybody. But listen, the president spoke today. Before I even play the president's speech, I want to actually have you guys listen to the Justice Minister when it comes to these accusatory claims that are coming from certain people in our environment who believe that you can just accuse anybody with total impunity because this is quote-unquote free speech. Listen to the Justice Minister. I must play this entirely. It's about 3 minutes long.
Talk shows, social media platforms, and other public forums. Some people have gone as far as declaring certain individuals guilty. We're all presenting a single piece of evidence. The Ministry of Justice does not investigate or arrest people simply because their names are mentioned in public. We do not build criminal cases on rumors, speculations, or political commentary. We build cases on facts, evidence, and the law. If every allegation made on the radio automatically resulted in an arrest, innocent people will have their reputations destroyed without justification, and the justice system itself will lose its credibility. Our responsibility is to determine whether there is credible information that can be independently verified and whether the available evidence establishes probable cause for further investigative or prosecutorial action. Where credible evidence exists, we will investigate thoroughly. Where the investigation establishes probable cause, arrest will be made. Where the evidence supports prosecution, charges will be filed. And where the evidence does not support criminal liability, we will not prosecute public opinion. And now how we conduct business. Let me also caution those who are just making accusations. Freedom of expression is a constitutional right, but that freedom carries responsibility. Publicly accusing individuals of serious criminal conduct without any factual basis does not assist law enforcement. It undermines legitimate investigations, unfairly damages reputations, and may expose those making false allegations to legal consequences. to those who genuinely possess information related to these investigations, I encourage you to come forward. Bring your information to the Ministry of Justice, to the Liberian Drug Enforcement Agency, the Liberian National Police, or any member of the Joint Security Task Force. Your information will be assessed professionally, confidentially where appropriate, and acted upon in accordance with laws. Alternatively, if a whatsoever meeting do not trust our security apparatus, give your evidence to our foreign partners, the United States, or any other foreign partner you want to give it to, who will look into it and investigate. As we are seeing, and I want to emphasize, this government has already demonstrated.
So this is the case. I made some adjustments. Hopefully there is there's a better clarity. So I want to say this, to the likes of my brother Rodney here, my brother Stanton Weatherspoon, that are making accusation, the platform has been laid. Now, the Justice Ministry and the security people in the country, they've been saying this for weeks now. If you have any evidence to support your claim that this person is guilty, that this person is involved, please present your evidence to the Justice Ministry or any security agency in the country. However, if you do not trust the Liberian security, you can present it to the Americans, you can present it to the Moroccans, you can present it to the Europeans. At least you're doing something, but you cannot be out there and claiming to have evidence to support whatever claims in the country to say, oh, Dwalu is part of the drug dealers of our country, when you cannot provide the evidence. They are asking you, you can make your claim. There is freedom of speech in Liberia, but that freedom does come with responsibilities. And there's an expectation that you become part of the responsible party across our country. This is important. In fact, today, you know, the Ministry of Justice published this. It's actually on their Facebook page. You can go there and read it as well. It's a quick excerpt here with the U.S. Embassy. Minister of Justice and the U.S. Embassy hold follow-up meeting on ongoing drug investigation. The Americans are actively involved in this, actively involved. Monrovia, Liberia, August 6, 2026. The Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia today held a productive follow-up meeting with the Chargé d'Affaires of the Embassy of the United States of America to review ongoing cooperation in support of Liberia's ongoing drug investigations. During the meeting, the Chargé d'Affaires reaffirmed the United States government's commitment to supporting the Ministry of Justice in strengthening its capacity to investigate and dismantle organized drug trafficking network. The minister welcomed the continued partnership, noting that the collaboration has progressed beyond discussion, with technical personnel from the United States currently working alongside the Ministry of Justice investigators and prosecutors in support of ongoing investigative efforts. The minister reiterated his commitment to conducting thorough, impartial, and evidence-based investigation, and appreciates the continued support of the United States government as Liberia advances its fight against transnational organized crime. So again, not only is the Justice Ministry doing everything locally to make sure we actually improve and fight this thing, the transnational drug crime, but they are working with international partners with much better resources that they can bring to bear in Liberia to make sure this is done. This is very, very important. Before I even play the president, I want to remind people in the country, this is from the Education Ministry, registration is free for our children in Liberia. Public primary schools nationwide, beginning with 2026-2027 academic year. Children in public schools from kindergarten through grade 6 will no longer pay registration fee, tuition, or anything for that matter. So if you get your child in the country, please put our children in school, especially in the rural areas. They must go to school. This is very, very important that people understand this. And additionally, as the government improves its systems, most of the opposition leadership, they are beginning to recognize across the country. Yesterday, I played about 3 of them here. I'm talking about the heads of these political parties in Liberia. They are continuing to say, this one is coming from Moses Wakali. Former CDC figure says, Boakai shows better governance than we are. Better President Bouaka was in a cage. Experienced leaders were prevented from gaining access to him. President Weah was in a cage. So they literally caged President Weah because they felt anything they meant they were going to be wrong when you won't toss it. Everybody hold their breath. So they put him in a cage. This is coming from a CDC insider. This is what he's saying. President Bouaka is far better, given what he is saying. So this man know more than you and I. He said it was far better. But before I play President Bouaka here tonight, let me just read what he said today. There is a whole video online where he will actually commissioning a few more judges in our country. He gave a powerful speech. I just want to read a little one paragraph before I play it from the president's own mouth. He said, to those who seek to bring illegal drugs into Liberia to destroy the lives of our young people, let them hear me today. To those who believe Liberia can be used as a transit point for transnational trafficking, to those who believe that their position, influence, wealth, or authority place them beyond the reach of justice, open your ears and hear me today. I hold in my ear right now. Open your ears and hear me today. We will identify you. We will pursue you. We will find you, and we will deal with you in accordance with law. This is President Joseph Yoman Bouaka sending a very clear message, crystal clear message to the people of Liberia that are partaker of this drug that is bent on destroying the future of our country. Let's hear it from the president's own mouth.
And let me be clear and absolute. To those who seek to bring illegal drugs into Liberia to destroy the lives of our young people, let them hear me today. To those who believe Liberia can be used as a transit point for international narcotic trafficking, let them hear me as well. To those who believe that their positions, influence, wealth, or authority places them beyond the reach of justice, clean your ears and hear me today, well and be warned. We will identify you, we will pursue you, we will find you, and we will deal with you in accordance with the rule of law. There will be no secret cows in this Joseph Yoman Bouaka administration. No one who engages in criminal activity will be permitted to hide behind poverty, public office, political influence, business interests, and their family connections, or any other position of authority. So whether you are a government official, a law enforcement officer, a businessman, a custom broker, or an ordinary citizen, the law must apply equally to everyone. This is the life.
A little translation for our people in Liberia. Whether you be male, you get big goal, you get big cow, you got 17 girlfriend, whether your man a mulatto, who you were, you get big tattoo. So long you involved in a job in the President Bouaka said they will go after you. You don't care for anybody in Liberia who won't destroy Liberian children's future. All the people that brought drugs to the country, whether you were in the past government or if the evidence of the crime of drugs in Liberia leads to you, the papi say they will come after you, they will investigate you, there will be no sacred cows, there will be nobody screaming wish hunt and they're going to just listen to you. You're not going to say, oh, you know, our poor, that property made me do it. Papi say all that thing and you're not going to listen to nothing. So long you are involved in the drugs to destroy the future of Liberia, they will come after you, they will pursue you, they will find you, even if you had it on a rack in some kind of village way beyond Goba. They will go there, they will take you from there, they will bring you to court, they will try you, and they will convict you, and then they will put you in jail. This is a real thing. So for those of you who still claiming in the country that President Baga bringing the draw, you say that politics. So you be ridiculous in your politicking. President Baga has said this. The Justice Minister did speak about this as well. If anybody has any evidence of any kind, anywhere that is, if you don't want to give it to the Justice Minister, give it to the Americans, give it to the Europeans, give it to every single agency, international agency that is helping Liberia. Give it to them. The president said, we are not going to have any sacred cows. Liberia will be liberated from this nonsense of drug proliferation in our country, because this is going to harm the future of our country. To my brother Muhammad Sharif, welcome to the show. How are you doing? Marcia Snoddy, Alexander Weir Jr., welcome to the class. My brother Samuel Dopa, how are you doing? He's watching from Rescue Corner in Bonneville. Big shout out to you guys out there in Rescue Corner. How you doing? Rachel McCann K from Collingdale, Pennsylvania. How are you doing? Ernest Moore. Brother Moore, it's been a minute. How are you doing? I hope everything is fine with you. Village Boy Smith, welcome to the show, my brother. Yes, that was a very powerful speech. And as we say in Liberia, the president did not mince his words. Or we say in America, the papi were crystal clear. So you can say, and I know, I will not know. You know, the man, his pa used to be former superintendent. You don't mess with the dentists. You don't mess with the Dwalus. You don't mess with the P-Ballet. You don't mess with the Ure, the Papi. All that thing. You don't agree with it. So long your name inside the draw, when they see you, they will find you and will come after you. So for those of you who have the evidence, please present the evidence to the people of our republic. Look, these guys continue to beat on themselves. You know, they might begin to ask some hard question. Sometimes you can get too serious overplot. Before we start the show, you might begin to ask some small question again. Yeah, let's see this here.
Where is the party chairman for the CDC? If you say chairman by your Senate brother should be here, your Secretary General should be here, your youth channel should be here. See what matter whatever institution we say you come out of power, but we are not here. Imagine don't trust in here. Jamaica country say I know in what we're gonna country. That's why I know when you come out now, you won't be preaching, you won't be what. You don't see why you see this here? We are focusing on governance. That's why we will never get space for Mr. Weir. Because Mr. Weir have damaged this country over the past 6 years. Today, our mothers are selling the market, they sell up to 10 o'clock. You know why? Because they are not being intimidated and harassed by Sabu units. 6 years ago, by 5 they will leave the market. Go there. The reason why the reason why the tolerance celebration was drop for celebration all across the world is because you have systems that have been put into place.
System. A system takes management. It takes proper leadership. This is why we cannot give this country to men who have not prepared themselves to govern us. This is not politics. This is the realism of the real world. Because let me tell you something. You're sitting across the table from men and women who've gone to Oxford, who's gone to Princeton and Harvard, men who've gone to Yale. They bring the corporate entities that come to Liberia to sign these concessions. They bring the top level class. Imagine we have people across the table representing Liberia who do not understand the real world. Every single time we're going to get taken advantage of. This is why we got to bring our best and brightest minds to sit on the other side of the table. As President Walker was speaking, I was thinking about Liberians in the country. I said, hey, man, you just lead Teresa Jackson small. You know, Teresa was a cool woman. Hey, man, you lead and Sudwalu, you know. Yeah, the men were selling all the drawing in Liberia, but you know, the men were helping people. If somebody said drawing in Liberia, they use the draw money to help in the community. That man is not just a criminal. He's a future criminal as well, because his crimes extends to the future. I will talk about that one today almost a little quick. My brother Jerry Dobley, welcome to the show, man. Sia Entertainment, it is a pleasure to have you here. Sia, how are you doing? Dolo. Hey, my brother will be here. Dolo. One day you must all be in like, bro. We'll sell our agency, our bounty hunting agency to be catching some man. Let me recognize the radio stations from across the country. I want to say welcome all you guys, man. DC 101. Thank you for the relay. Bourgeois Radio up in Morovia, Punch FM. Also in Morovia, Trust FM out of Bombing County. All our brothers and sisters in Bombing County, we say you're welcome to all the Oman and Papini out there. You're welcome. Radio Buta all the way in Sando County. Smile FM out of Zwedru, Grangeda County. Radio Sando in Greenville, Sando County. We say you're welcome. Top FM out of Zwedru. To our people in Zwedru, Zulu Whiskey, man, you guys, I hope you guys are doing well up there. To our brothers and sisters in radio, listening to the radio, Yalima, all the way in Seklepia, we say you're welcome. Radio Gumpa, Alaganta City, man, picking them a GB, man, I hear your through. Yeah, when I saw the all that GB, I'm listening for all. Me tell you, to our people in Ganta, man, you're welcome, Premier FM, out of Banga, Bon County, Banga. That real and you do that peresu, your woman I eat it, I'm a kiss on for me tell you all put in Banga. Hey, my people they a bleach radio. They say oh team we won't be but we are the boss says you're not swallow all that domo you listen for me all the way in radio in Begrembasa County. I want to say welcome to Radio Kwatike out of Banga Bon County to you guys in Habel. You're welcome to the show Peace FM out of Habel, voice of Lufa. Oh, you got all the Tomagi with the drum the inside. I'm gonna keep my own Lufa biggie yo. You're small for me with real Tomagi or plenty solo. I want my turn to be heavy too. Oh, you leave me. The radio Margibi out of Kakata Margibi County, Classic FM as well. You're welcome to the show. You're welcome. Liberia must get better. Liberia will get better. Nothing is going to stop this march towards modernity. It don't matter. You can go or you fall down, you cry. Liberia forges ahead. Nothing is going to stop this onward march. And anybody who want to pull a wrench into our engine so it can stall, who will find you, they will prosecute you, and you will go to jail. And for anybody who continue to feel sorry for criminals in Liberia, our ancestors themselves, may they turn their backs on you or you turning your back on Liberia. Let's start the show, y'all.
Class Reloaded, the #1 online show that brings the truth. Showcasing JNB and JKK progress all across the country.
Oh, the Class Reloaded, we are online every day. Hey, showcasing progress the Liberian way.
Well,
JMB and JKK, they're making the way. The Class Reloaded, we're shining today. Hey. Oh.
From Monrovia City to the other counties, development talk shake the country. We talk the truth, we don't lie. The rescue mission making people smile. Roads getting better, schools better, electricity stable, no more hoping. We see the change, we see the light. Unity Party doing things right. Who talk the facts?
The Class Reloaded.
Who bring the vibe?
The Class Reloaded.
Support development.
The Class Reloaded.
Who better arise again?
Oh yes we can.
Who talk the facts?
The Class Reloaded.
Who bring the vibe?
The Class Reloaded.
Support development.
The Class Reloaded.
Who better arise again?
Oh yes we can. The Class Reloaded, we are online every day.
Every day.
Hey, showcasing progress the Liberian way.
Well, JMB and JKK, they're making the way. The Class Reloaded, we shining today.
Hey,
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 turn up the sound, let the people dance. Liberia progress, we get the chance. No fake news, we bring the proof. The Class Reloaded, always in the booth. From social media to the street corner, everybody talking about the new order. Respect to the hosts, they keeping it real. Liberia future, that's the deal. The Class Reloaded,
truth, truth,
Liberia rising,
progress,
JMB and JKK,
develop,
the rescue mission, we move soon.
the Class Reloaded,
True,
Liberia rising,
progress,
JMB and JKK,
develop, the rescue mission, we move soon.
You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. And don't forget again to send it in the lingo. They're all gonna get on my case here. They're probably screaming right now in our chat room. Try to wear the link. Try to wear the link. Let me see here. Okay, I don't see nobody yelling at me yet, so I guess most of them still lagging behind. Now they got the link. Hopefully, there will be no noise here. I want to welcome our people from across the country. Thank you for joining the conversation. Let's talk Liberia. We cannot get tired about talking about this country. Uh, Iman Jones, I will try to play that song. Let me say this to our people across the country. Something is happening in Liberia. I know sometimes there is this hesitation when people believe everything that the government is supposed to do it. The government can only go so far. When the government carries you somewhere, the rest of the population has to take it the rest of the way. It cannot be done entirely by the government. The government can only do so much more. So the very communities across Liberia, if you're in Kakata and somebody said enjoy in your community, you can call a number. The police department does have a number out. We posted a number here before. We make sure we talk to them to distribute the number all across the country. The president has issued this mandate. Every single citizen across our country, you have been deputized to make sure now to call in anonymously. You don't have to talk. You got to call your name. You got to call your phone number. Nothing. You can call. You say one real hot in my community. Hopefully, pretty soon we have some addresses across the country. I know the government is working on that to make sure that the buildings in the country have a addressing system. If we had a address and you are in Vonjiman somewhere, you can call. You say on Vonjiman Broad Street, house number 254, they're selling drugs in our house. That's all you need to say. Now the police will do their own investigation. So the president can say whatever he wants to say from the executive mansion. It is now incumbent upon us, as citizens of our republic, to fight these drugs together, to make sure we kick this scourge out of Liberia. This is not an easy thing. This is a very, very serious thing that will not only destroy children, but we ourselves. Look, some people are very naive about the issue of drugs in Liberia. They believe so long as selling it and I make small money, it will not affect me. There are a lot of movies here in America, I could name several, where people that sold drugs is affecting their own family member, overdose, they die. People shot them because it's a very dangerous commodity. Everybody want a piece of it because there's a lot of money. Everybody start killing everybody. So eventually it comes right back to your very doorstep. The money you make from drugs, most of the time, you don't benefit from it. This is not new globally. This has been happening for God knows, maybe for the last maybe 75 years. It has been a very serious issue across the globe. One of the biggest things that I love about the approach that President Bouaka and his team has brought to this drug issue is this. They realize the establishment of this drug cartel in Liberia, it is still in its infancy. Even though it's been around mostly since 2018 when the guys first started coming to the country, 2020 when they started coming to the country, it's still brand new. So our best opportunity to kick this drug out of Liberia is now. It's now. So I want everybody in the country, it doesn't matter if you're in Habel, if you're in Buchanan, if you're in Lac, wherever you may be across our country, Barclayville, if somebody is selling drugs in your community, you know that they're selling drugs. I don't say you won't go there because you know they drug people and they're very violent. Go to the police station. There is a number that will be put out by the police department. Call that number. If your local police in your county, if they are involved, if they are facilitating in any way, shape, or form the drug dealers in your community, you can jump over there and you call Central. Central will have a number. You call Central. You say, Central, I won't tell you my name, but in here, I live in Sano, in Greenville, Sano County. In my community, one man here, they call him Opa. They call him Bibero Opa. Everybody knowing he the big opium seller in our community. You can report that to the government. Now, the government will contact the local police here in your county, and the local police here will bring their own SWAT team to make sure they arrest that individual to save your children. Let me tell you what's happening here in America. Maybe some people tend to forget. Most of our people back who don't know what's happening. Every single ambulance here in this country, they get this thing called EpiPen. They got all kind of things inside because they put it in overdose. Then they got to juke it in their heart so they can bring them back to life. In almost every town in America that has over 100,000 people, I'm using 100,000 as a benchmark. Almost every single day, anywhere from 1 to 5 person will overdose. Maybe 1 or 2 person will die. It happens every day in America. Every day, 1 to 5 person will overdose. That means they take the drug plenty, and they get laid on the ground, get they fin, and all kind of foam coming from in the mouth, and they die. So people are losing their children everywhere across the globe. Until you see in Liberia, it will pale in comparison if we don't address it now and we're allowed to come to Liberia on a massive scale. Yes, people will tell you, say, oh, the drug is only being transported out of Liberia. Liberia is a transit point. But there are a portion of the drugs, whether it's 5% or 10%, that remains in the country. Now, additionally, we have some business people in our society. They're running the business, but the business is a front. That means they put a business in front. But beyond that, real drugs they're selling, those people, you report into the police as well. Let me say this to you, drug addicts in Liberia. If you're buying drugs from anybody in Liberia, what a big man, and the day the police catch you, you can tell the police, hey, you don't put me in jail for 6 months, you put me in jail for 2 weeks. I will show you what they said in the drug, and you can tell that one too. You can tell the police that the police will bring your time down. And so don't you tell the police what the drugs are, the person that's selling the drug, where you buy the drug from, the police will reduce your time, where you to go to jail for. The high you can wear, in Liberia. So every single one of us have to fight this drug. This is not a simple thing. This is a very serious thing. I want to be absolutely sure here. I posted it in the proper room. Yes, I did. So nobody has claimed. So once the guys get here, I will bring them on screen. But I want to say this, though. I want to say this. Here's my issue here tonight. It's for the very people that love to say we feel sorry for people for being men. If more men in your community, I will use myself. Yeah, in your community, I open one big business in your community. When you can't get you one beggar rare. When you can't get you small thing. In our community, I start dividing money all around in our community. Nobody will work for the money yesterday. They will not divide the money. Let me talk again. Nobody will work for the money. The way you see one representative and senator and chucking money in the air, they don't their own money. They don't work for that money. That the government money where they give them for them to come to your community to develop it. That why they doing it that. Their own money where they work for, they can give it to nobody. Fuck that, they can give it to nobody. I usually representatives and senators because you know everybody understand exactly what that means in Liberia. Let's move from there. If you see regular person in your community, where you want big shop, where you want big entertainment center, where you want big business, you're dividing money in your community. I don't say he's selling draw. But that money where you dividing, and the day they catch that person for selling draw, you ought to be the same people in the community say, hey, you're leave alone, you're leave Mr. Dwari alone, Mr. Dwari on the radio talking for all, yeah, the man said draw. When you do that, you're killing your children. You're not supposed to feel sorry for people that want to kill your children. You are an evil person if you feel sorry for me when I intentionally, when I make calculated decisions to kill your children, and then the government stop me from killing your children, then you say, hey man, who will testify on the man's behalf. You are an evil person. You don't want a future for your children. Nobody's supposed to feel sorry for a criminal in Liberia. I'm not talking about a crime where and we don't know exactly what's happening. That's what I'm talking about. But if it's been proven that this person is selling drug in our society, you have to not stand by that person because you make it very difficult for the government to prosecute them. Anybody will steal from anybody. It makes it very, very difficult for the person to stand by them. This is very important. So my brother Princess, they say, welcome to the show, man. I mean, is that lying? What are you lying about? Just post it so we can talk. This is an open forum. If I'm lying about something you say, then we can talk about it. And you got to understand, you're a very evil person. Because our children's future must matter way more than somebody putting money in their pocket at the expense of our children's lives. Liberia will not go in front if we don't have people there to carry Liberia in front. The people were supposed to carry Liberia in front of our children. So when anybody fasting around our children in that kind of wild way where we spoil our children, we're supposed to counter that vehemently. We're supposed to say no to that one. That person will make sure the police arrest that person. They kill that person. Go. President Bwaka cannot fight drug if you do not facilitate his effort. What it means, if all of them put here around the president for the president to fight drug, we're not able to fight drug. He's not able to fight drug. He can put all the police in the street. He can put the DEA on the street. He can do anything he want to do. So long the community said not join President Bwaka to fight that drug. President Bwaka not able to fight that drug. So you have been deputized by the president of the Republic of Liberia. If you see drug anywhere in your community, I don't think you must go there. I say call the police and say in the hall, in the green hall, they selling drug there. They selling drug there. In this green hall, they selling drug there. They had the police go there. Now the only way we can get rid of joy in our country because our children they got to live and they got to live to carry Liberia in front. Once again, I want to recognize all you guys. Thank you for coming to the show, the radio station. You guys that are listening in the counties from across the globe. To my brother Blair, welcome to the show. How are you doing, Blair? What's popping? What's on your mind? Or as I say, what's hurting your head? And Minister Pia say nothing hurting anybody here, but I still want to ask you. The hurting here is another way to say what's on your mind. You didn't put on your heart yesterday. You not come out with A again. I feel with you.
And good evening to you, Dualu. First of all, my brother, I want to appreciate you for the sacrifices every day.
Yes, sir.
You know, pushing those hours and then coming to sit here. And let go myself, but I mean, to moderate is not an easy thing. You put me behind the microphone now to do the moderate, the whole show finish.
No, sometimes we got to do it, but we already adjusted our time, so we do our best. Yeah. If you ask me, maybe I may accident go for bed or beyond my control.
ain't happening.
Yeah.
And so, especially to our gorgeous, loving, and amazing audience, I really want to appreciate you guys. Every time we come on here, you guys are here. And one thing I noticed, you people, you let to hear the Nightingale voice. You let to hear Dualu alone voice. They make a talk for over 40 minutes, 45 minutes. You're just there, the comment just going, wow, you know? That's what is amazing about it. But what is set in my head, Dualu, is, you know, the people who should not even have the moral compass to talk about what drugs is doing in the country are the people who making the loudest noise because they want to cover all their butts about what they did in the country 6 years when they administered the affairs of our country. Because the thing here is that Dualu, you have like, I get an example, an analogy. Okay, you have two doctors, and you feeling well all of the time over a year, you know, and then you go to this doctor and then they administer the test on you, and then the other doctor says you have some kind of a cancer, but it is continuable, and we can continue and give you treatment and cure. Then the other doctor tell you, say, "Mama, you okay?" So when you going home from the other doctor, you feel confident, right? You know, that doctor, what they call, but the other doctor, you will feel bad, but you feel okay. So I say I feel okay. So the other doctor says something happening. Yeah. Let me go to the doctor here. So you go now, the doctor start treating you. That funny feeling start getting better. That Joseph Yuma Bwakade. The country is messed up. Under the George Rias administration, the man said, in the small drug issue we have in our problem, we solve it. So under his administration, drugs was not an issue. It is because Liberia was an open corridor. And the reason why it is filled and fooled the Liberian people's eyes today, because it's the very, very first time that we are trying to make our country healthy.
That's it.
What is happening, the 317 million and the 19 million is a way of making the country healthy from drugs. And the difference between the two administrations is the 317 plus the 19, it didn't enter the country to say it went in the market to affect young people. But the other people, the drug cartel, they were not afraid because the authority gave them the gateway. Liberia was a gateway.
Yep.
So they could not have been arrested so easy. The only reason why we heard about the $100 million United States dollar and they pretended to the United States government is because the United States government told them we are tracking this. They knew about it because they were working with these people, but they pretended. And that is why you see, Dualu, how will you burst $100 million United States dollar case, drugs, and your case is weak against the defendant when you have the hardcore evidence in your hand? With the money you confiscated from the people. And it was a cahoot, Dualu. And today you have these same people.
Blair, you must say here, look, what happened? The establishment of the drug cartel in Liberia from the 2018, mostly around 2020, when they really troop into the country, that's what the evidence is showing. Yeah. People had to facilitate. There is no freaking way that a cartel operation out of South America would get comfortable with sending the drugs to Liberia without being approved by the local sitting government in that quantity. And here's another thing we are getting. People were being promised that the drug cartel will fund the elections. If anything happened, this is what they think. Look, this the issue about drug. The justice minister spoke today. And my brother, you're right, Abdul Twari. Look, if the likes of Senator Snow has evidence, let him bring the evidence forth. In fact, let's listen to the justice minister a little bit, what the justice minister is saying, so people can get it. You can't be going out there and say, oh, Blair, like serious drug dealer in the country, Blair, like drug dealer. Then you cannot provide a single evidence to substantiate as to whether or not Blair has produced, so any drugs in the country. My brother Abraham, welcome to the show. Let's listen to the justice minister while the guys are coming in here.
Talk shows, social media platforms, and other public forums. Some people have gone as far as declaring certain individuals guilty. We all presenting a single piece of evidence. The Ministry of Justice does not investigate or arrest people simply because their names are mentioned in public. We do not build criminal cases on rumors, speculations, or political commentary. We build cases on facts, evidence, and the law. If every allegation made on the radio automatically resulted in an arrest, innocent people who have their reputations destroyed without justification, and the justice system itself will lose its credibility. Our responsibility is to determine whether there is credible information that can be independently verified and whether the available evidence establishes probable cause for further investigative or prosecutorial action. Where credible evidence exists, we will investigate thoroughly. Where the investigation establishes probable cause, arrest will be made. Where the evidence supports prosecution, charges will be filed. And where the evidence does not support criminal liability, we will not prosecute simply to satisfy public opinion. That's not how we conduct business. Let me also caution those who are just making accusations. Freedom of expression is a constitutional right, but that freedom carries responsibility. Publicly accusing individuals of serious criminal conduct without any factual basis does not assist law enforcement. It undermines legitimate investigations, unfairly damages reputations, and may expose those making false allegations to legal consequences. To those who genuinely possess information relating to these investigations, I encourage you to come forward. Bring your information to the Ministry of Justice, to the Liberian Drug Enforcement Agency, the Liberian National Police, or any member of the Joint Security Task Force. Your information will be assessed professionally, confidentially where appropriate, and acted upon in accordance with laws. Alternatively, if a Washington meeting do not trust our security apparatus, give your evidence to our foreign partners, the United States, or any other foreign partner you want to give it to, who will look into it and investigate. As we are seeing, and I want to emphasize, this government has already demonstrated.
The government has demonstrated that it's willing to fight drugs. It's done every single thing, Brother Abraham, and they're doing everything to make sure this is stopped in Liberia and to be entirely dismantled. I don't know if you got to listen to Costa today. I was listening today. Everybody knows this. We remember when the CIA called George Weah to Langley to come in to ask him some questions. We know what was happening in the country. This boy was setting up shop. The CIA actually tracked the drug cartel out of South America before they came into Liberia. And what President Bouaka has done, he said, listen, you leave now. You are not invited to our country. We don't want you in the country. And whatever you are hitting, anybody will facilitate your stay here, who brought you here, will go after them. But if you're claiming now, you're saying it to me, if you're claiming now, under any circumstance that you got evidence to show that Dwalu is selling drugs in the country, bring the evidence to all, Abraham. That's all the Justice Ministry is saying. If you don't trust us, take it to the Americans, take it to the Europeans, But you cannot be on social media making up lies. This is unacceptable. Hopefully, Senator Snow gets the message. Alexa Ronnie Snake get his message. And even my brother Martin Cully, he's posted something today. Hopefully he gets his message. And my brother Stanton Weatherspoon, they have to get the message. Start claiming something that you cannot substantiate. Abraham, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Eduardo. Thank you, Eduardo. Okay, thank you, Eduardo. What I want to say today, but before I start, let me be able to tell all of our followers, all of our viewers, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you find yourself. But they've fought against drugs. I strongly believe that this government is doing a lot more than the previous administrations. For us, I'm saying for one of me, for I to be sitting and seeing Stanton Waterspoon, who does not have the moral rectitude, for him to be able to call reputable people that have laid their life, the lives of Mama Kability, the lives of Sarah Besra Yanti, who have laid their life, who have fought and continue to fight for the upliftment of our country, and then you come on your talk show for you because you have mouth, you come to add them to the drugs business, to add the F to say the people that they are involved. It's a sad day. It's a sad day. For me, I actually believe that man radio station should be cautioned. Stanton radio station should be cautioned, because there are certain news in you disseminating, it is harmful to the public. When we, back in the day, that was the cause of Radio Kigali in Uganda. When you have radio station and you're not managing your radio station in the best way possible, then maybe you want for some of us to come to manage it for you. But it's a sad day in our country. But I am very much happy that President JMB has continuously, they all may have continued to say this thing without number. That if you are connected with this drugs business and you are found, you'll be rooted out of our government and you'll be sent to court for you to go to justify. And there have been no precedent. There have been no precedent, absolutely, that have said such, that even if it is my inner, someone who is connected to me, find them into the drugs matter, they'll be uprooted. They'll be rooted out of the system. I'm just sorry for President Weah. I'm very, very much sorry for him. Look, you have to look at the man's physical appearance. The man's physical appearance will tell you a lot. But don't know, let me stop here. But let me be clear. Let me be clear. We'll continue to spread the good news of this government. This government is doing a lot more. In less than 3 years, the government has done a lot more compared to the Densoden or the Synconet 6 years. I see why the CDC superintendent, the superintendent from Maryland, I see why he resigned. I see why one of the stalwarts of Grand General resigned. This is a real government. We are not playing. This is not play team. Real men are to work. Real men are to work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Abraham. Look, we have a lot to talk about here today as the guys continue to come in here. And look, this drug issue, and nobody can deny that in the country right now, drug is not being fought. Before I go to you, Blair, before I go to another tape to play, and Blair, any other comment before we play another tape? I want to play something that the information minister said today before we go actually to the meat of this thing tonight. On mute.
To the information minister, I think the more flesh and meat we have, the more we eat tonight.
Absolutely. So let me play the information minister a little bit. He was talking about the stuff up there.
We informed you that as our security forces, particularly the Coast Guard, tried to reach out to the vessel, it started to drift far into high sea. I also informed you that we contacted regional partners to assist in pursuing the vessel since the capacity of our men to move deeper into sea was limited. I want to say that that process of pursuing the vessel is still ongoing. We are determined not to allow the vessel to escape. As we make further progress, I will continue to update you because we have been and will continue to be transparent in all of the things that we have to do as a government. So we just wanted to ensure that we are up to date with that. Our different investigations are still on. The Attorney General is here. Maybe he may have something to say. Many persons are still being investigated in connection with the drug situation, not just the 317 or 19, but the drug crisis in general.
And that's what the information minister said today. You know, a few days ago when the ship came off the coast of Liberia, and Blair, a lot of people were saying, oh, the government now bring more drug. People can yet talk in the country, just the hate, like call it hate chicken. But let me ask you this, though. Now, the government has pursued the ship. The ship is going back into international water. It never came on the shores of Liberia, by the way. But yet and still, the government is still contacting international partners to make sure what is this ship about. I want people to understand that at any given point, globally, we have over 100,000 ships all around the globe. There are plenty. And some of these ships, they can be bought for us nothing. In fact, sometimes when they're doing something in some poorer countries, if they want place to dump a ship, in Bangladesh, it's a big industry. When you come somewhere, you leave that ship along your coast because it costs a lot of money to be able to destroy the ship or stick it to a shipyard that they can dismantle it. So many reasons why it's brought in there. But here's a question to you, Blair. Why is it so quick for people now to say, is it just the politics of Liberia that when any small thing happens, the president begin drug? Or it just become a CDC talking point now? What's going on?
Eduardo, we have a lot of challenges. And what people have done now is to politicize everything that is happening within our borders. Even externally, they will politicize it. The reason is because, look, the more you see the main fee is more strategic, it becomes harder for those on the other side of the defense. That is what is happening, Dualu, because these people, the harder that Bwaka and this government work, they already do not have the chance to come. Now, one of the strategic areas that the opposition is, when we talk about opposition, it's just the CDC, the other people that can't.
No, not even CDC, that we are shit, not 5%.
About 5%. I just talking the Kekeles, okay? The Kekeles, they know that there is no means for them to come to power. Okay, so the harder this government work, the more the Liberian people say, oh, but I think in this dispensation, in our generation, the Unity Party is the only party that is going to move. Because the first difficult movement in Liberian history post-war was to move from a pariah state to democracy. And the Unity Party was the one that was able to organize that. Let's disregard what they talk about corruption in the first Unity Party's administration, under Ellen Johnson's administration, which she also admitted to. But we came from a pariah state and reorganized our democracy and our governance system. That was the Unity Party's government. And these other brothers came. And it took us back beyond where we came from. Now, Joseph Yuma Bwaga came and took it from there and have brought up almost 3 years. And the country's image is not comparable to the first administration, 12 years, and the 6 years, the 18 years. Joseph Yuma Bwaga have doubled and surpassed them. Now, there's the thing, Dwalu. Bwaga is an exceptional leader. And these people, what they've seen, especially within our space right now,
Correct.
They are afraid. But one thing I want us to look at is that, Dwalu, we are leading this country now. We cannot see ourselves being limited. Let's look at our Coast Guard. Our armed forces, they have to be capacitated. At this point, we cannot be asking neighboring countries to track these kind of a boats for us.
Yeah, in our waters.
In our waters, close to our waters. Why will we be appropriating millions of United States dollars to just one person's offices or two persons' offices when we can use the Coast Guard is under the defense budget, and that budget is carrying like 4.7 million United States dollars. And not in respect to the speaker and the Senate pro tempore. The speaker, where is the speaker traveling? How many times is the speaker traveling? What is he doing with a 2.3 million United States dollar budget? Can that budget be sliced in 2027 to be able to equip the national security? They're talking about decentralizing the ports, autonomizing the ports of Liberia. But how can we autonomize our ports when our territorial waters are not even protected? Dwalu. Because these cartels, Dwalu, these cartels, it's not from 2024. They have mastered our territorial waters. They know all of the loopholes because they began in the 2020s. They know where to pass. And in order for us to be protected, the Coast Guard must be given the relevant equipment with the armed forces of Liberia to be able to protect our waters. Other than that, Dwalu, our country remains vulnerable to the cartels. So I hope under this budget that the Senate pro tempore and the speaker, where are they going? Senate pro tempore with 1.8 million United States dollar budget. We have to query these people. We are not criticizing them, but we have to query them. What are they using these monies on? 1.8 million United States dollars, 2.3 million United States dollars. What are they using it on? And the Coast Guard is, it cannot chase a boat in this sea to, we will never know if that boat gets missing. We will never know what was on that boat. If they came to dispose of that ship on the Liberian water, it will remain a mystery. If there were drugs, which I want to believe, because when you look at the letter that was written to the Maritime Authority by Egon, that boat is in distress and he's being busted for being participating in drugs activities, then I will come to the consideration that that boat was not meant to be disposed of in our waters or in the international waters, because this boat did not transmit directly with the Liberian Authority, but with somebody whom they think they know. So we have to capacitate the national security. And the national legislature is the one that makes appropriation. They keep our purse. They tell us what our money should be prioritized for. So I hope the speaker and the Senate pro tempore will think twice that those two offices to carry close to 4 million United States dollars while our national security is at risk. It's about time we begin to think twice.
Thank you, Blair. I mean, you made some salient points. The issue of the Coast Guard, these boats you can get, these boats are relatively cheap. I know we were donated these boats by the Americans. Let me just play this for a second before I respond to you properly.
Oh,
That boat is for maybe 10 miles in. It just was right along the coast. We need Syria boats. These can you can get top quality one for 100,000. Why don't we have helicopters? First and foremost, I've said this all the time. A quality helicopter for the coastal region, half $250,000 can get you decent quality helicopters. So the thing you just mentioned, Blair, about cutting some of these salaries. Now, I'm not talking about individual salaries. I'm not focused here. I'm talking about these huge budget allocation. We can find $5-6 million in the budget. We pump it towards the Coast Guard, and they can collaborate with the Drug Enforcement Agency. We need helicopters. If there's 2 or 3, we need it. We need deep sea boats, gunboats, like the one in Nigeria had. They call them PT boats here. I remember these boats. I mean, they built them here. They can go at least 100 miles in. So we want you entirely out of our waters, especially like you said, we didn't know what our ship was bringing into Liberian water. But what I love that the government has found a way to address this, to make sure they don't come back here again. But we are on our duty to make sure we gave the Coast Guard the proper tools so they can be able to do this. That is the goal. Abraham, your take on that before we go to the foreign minister. She said something today.
You know, Duaro, all right. So for me, I just have simple analysis for me to be able to make. Because I strongly believe that this government came to power 2024, I mean. This government came to power 2024. And there have been a lot that have been done. Yes, we need some equipment. Yes, it is true. Yes, we need to empower our Coast Guard and including the Drugs Enforcement Agency. Yes, that is true. But let us now speak ahead of us, because the Justice Minister has already said it, that they have asked our counterpart for them to be able to look into it. Why? What reason that our boat or our ship came closer, not only the Liberian Sea, but came closer? Why? Instead of us being able to insinuate, I strongly believe that it will be prudent enough for us to be able to wait. Now, I cannot be able to say that there were drugs on our no. I would not be able to say that, because I don't have the evidence for me to be able to expose the government to that. I don't have it. So there will be no need for me to be able to go that route. But Duadu, serious measures have been taking place. In time past, other guys were arrested and they were let go. So far as some of them, in fact, was not even said, the duo of the act were not even arrested. So for me, let us be able to give a hand of applause to this administration for the massive work that this administration is doing, that the joint security is doing, that for them to be able to have one of their own, not one, not two, including someone from Prince C. Johnson department, someone for NSA, bend this rope. Let us be able to give the Ghana a hand of applause. They are working tirelessly in the interest of our country. So I will not be here for me to come to give the Ghana latches. No. If they drop the ball, right now there have been no ball that has been dropped. The drug that you're speaking of, the drug was seized and it was destroyed. The
Thank
people
you.
that were connected to the drugs, the people that were connected to the drugs, they are still in government custody. So let us be able to wait. Let us be patient and let us be. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, Abraham, you're right. Now, we don't know what was on our boat, as I said by Blair and myself. We don't know what was there. Nobody knows. I just want us to be more prepared for our coastal region to make sure the guys don't think we are vulnerable. I think my brother Jonathan said something here. Jonathan, he said, Abraham, no, that's on this one. Somebody said, some of these guys, they come to our coast because they see that we have a weak military. We don't have all the equipment. And this somebody said here, I forget who it was, but I think sometimes they're trying to exploit that vulnerability. Now, what we have to do, we have to close any pocket that we have that they can exploit. And I think that's a great thing for Liberia. And I'm pretty sure people who are in charge, these are just recommendations, because part of our job, Abraham, is to be able to tell our government that the whole year we got to close it. Because I think somebody mentioned, why we even taking boats from Monrovia to go into Kima? There should be a coastal region where we have a coastal depot for our Coast Guard. We have some in Grand Crew, some in Maryland, to make sure there are local regions that can actually pursue people out of our waters going in the future. Cole, welcome to the show. Before you say anything, you and Mo, let me play the Foreign Affairs Minister, what she said today, and then we can respond on today, and you guys can tie in your intro to that.
With the ones being contacted last night, I had several. President Boyka has led a very focused, a very principled, and a very structured, strategic fight against drugs in Liberia. And the objective is Liberia will not become a narco state. He's always maintained, also, President Boyka has said to us at cabinet level, and even in bilateral conversations, he will not run his government in social media. He will not run his government on propaganda. And that clarity of purpose has guided how we engage as well. I will not be speaking today if it were not important. Lies against me, my person, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they have been there since 2023. They are not new. But what is new? What is new is the extent to which these lies undermine the fight against drug trafficking in Liberia. It undermines a highly credible investigation, and it undermines Liberia's positioning in the world. It's a new positioning, and that's new. And so in that regard, then I must speak. We are leading as the Voice of Africa this month, starting August 1.
Mo Ali, the Foreign Affairs Minister, said she must speak because the smear campaign being done by some people, they don't understand to the extent that it undermines Liberia. Some people don't fully understand what they're doing. If you're accusing the Foreign Affairs Minister of the Republic of Liberia, the woman that spends most of her time literally outside the country, as being part of the drug cartel without any form of evidence to support whatever you're saying, and then it undermines the country. Here's the question, Mo, and tie that into your intro. Do they fully understand that they're undermining the country, or they just don't care?
Good evening, thank you. And let me say, I came a little late because I had a lot of work to do today, writing proposals. Dwalu, for people who run talk shows and for people who pretend to be journalists, for them it is not about the country. For them it is not about looking for the truth. For them it is not about, helping the country. What most or some, I mean I say most, what some media entities and some talk show hosts and individuals are doing is to throw out everything without considering the consequence to the country, because they want their platform to grow. You know what I've noticed in Liberia, many Liberians are guilty of, is that we like controversial people, we like controversial statements. And so we usually run to things that people say that will create controversy. And I can give you several examples, right? So when you go on my page, those who can do research, look at the posts that carry more comments. When I post something controversial, when me and Samuel Jackson making flour, or I post this one, it's politics related, it's this and that. Yeah, more comments. For example, we are connecting the new 48-inch pipe we've constructed to the other line and to the plant and testing the system. I posted that several days to announce that, because of that, we'll be shutting the 36-inch pipe down for at least 10 days. Nobody cares to read that kind of post. And I posted, when I post issues that relate to the work we do, the achievements we're making, nobody cares about that, right? But the moment you put something political, whether people, you go there, you see hundreds of comments. That has become the norm, and that's why people, so others are taking advantage of it. Now, last night, after the show, I was listening to the Deputy Foreign Minister, Dr. Ibrahim Yang, explaining, because the foreign ministry represents our country externally, and all of those diplomats that are here, other countries that are here, their embassies, they interact directly with the foreign ministry. Anybody, like for example, I wrote a letter to the Chinese embassy once, seeking assistance or help for water and seawater. They say, no, you cannot write the embassy directly. You got to write the embassy through the foreign ministry. So it's the same thing when these people have diplomatic immunities, like I was explaining, and part of that immunity is the amenity to bring in things for them. They are exempt from paying custom duties and things. But when things are coming for them, they come through the foreign ministry. Okay, so for example, something comes from a particular embassy, and then you are demanding that they should open it. Oh, the thinking, it said diplomatic parcel, and so the foreign minister said they will not open it until it reach to her. Therefore, that drugs inside. Without considering what will happen to the country's image outside there. They don't care. For many people, it's about growing their platforms. It's about widening the readership of their newspapers, or more people listening to their radio stations. It is not about the truth. It's not. You can just accuse people. And then the other talk show, I heard somebody saying, yeah, Dualu, thank God you brought this thing. Call sorry to your, Dualu, sorry to your who in America. When we were coming up, our thought was that America is the most enlightened society in the world. And if you live there, you go to school there, you must know the difference between black and white. At least you must be able to analyze. And I heard a panelist on the talk show say, why is the foreign minister not in court? She's been accused. Why is she not in court? And Dr. Nye was responding to it. My blood was boiling. Because I was going to sit on that show and just accuse the guy and then say you are running drugs, you are trafficking human beings, and then after a few minutes I will ask him, why are you not in court? Because I have accused you. For somebody to sit on the show and say another person sat down on another show and accused the foreign minister, and why is the foreign minister not in court? Why is the foreign minister not in jail? Then the whole perception changed that, yeah, some of our people can go to America, they go there, they turn stupid. The others who want to be smart, who want to be analytical, they can be. The one who can want to be stupid deliberately, they can be stupid. And that guy last night was one of them. So they don't care. It doesn't matter to them. It does not at all. But thankfully, we've got a president who also doesn't care, who doesn't shoot anyone. I'm sure we listened to him today. We listened to the statement he made. That it doesn't matter who you are, where you are, and how close you are to power. When you're involved, you will be there according to the law. So short answer to your question, they not care at all, they not care.
Thank you, Mo Pacha. Welcome to the show. In fact, it's a great segue before I go to call. Let's listen to the Justice Minister about people that are making these accusations and what they can do about it if they want to do something, because we cannot just continue to make claims in the country that we cannot substantiate. Listen to the Justice Minister briefly before call respond. Patrick, welcome to the show.
Talk shows, social media platforms, and other public forums. Some people have gone as far as declaring certain individual guilty. We're all presenting a single piece of evidence. The Ministry of Justice does not investigate or arrest people simply because their names are mentioned in public. We do not build criminal cases on rumors, speculations, or political commentary. We build cases on facts, evidence, and the law. If every allegation made on the radio automatically resulted in an arrest, innocent people who have their reputations destroyed without justification, and the justice system itself will lose its credibility. Our responsibility is to determine whether there is credible information that can be independently verified, and whether the available evidence establishes probable cause for further investigative or prosecutorial action. Where credible evidence exists, we will investigate thoroughly. Where the investigation establishes probable cause, arrest will be made. Where the evidence supports prosecution, charges will be filed. And where the evidence does not support criminal liability, we will not prosecute simply to satisfy public opinion.
Carl, we will not prosecute simply to satisfy public opinion. We must have evidence to support convincable evidence. Just because they call did it does not make it evidence. Carl, welcome to the show. On mute. We are not hearing you, Cole. I don't know if you're on mute here. We are not hearing you. In the interim, we're going to go to Patrick. Patrick, I know you followed the conversation. What the Justice Minister is proposing. Patrick Hona get $15,000 for a generator. Carrying the code. Just because Valu saying.
So you yourself believe that I get $15,000 for my generator. But then I think the whole government, I don't want to join the government. Yo. But anyway,
yeah.
Thank you so much. So I first of all, I have to say that I'm out here in Margibi County for a retreat. We are retreating as an institution. And so I'm actually using my phone. It's my first time using my phone to join the show, but it's great to be here. So today I found some time to listen to the foreign minister, the dean of the cabinet who spoke earlier. And then later on was the justice minister. I'll do a quick summary of what I was able to pick up from both speakers. So if the foreign minister basically clarified her, that she, all those fake news and rumors and speculations and disinformation, misinformation. And she was saying that we are not joking here. She kept on repeating that particular thing. We are not joking here. She picked up the phone. She even indicated that based on a request from the Inspector General of Police, she picked up the phone and called State Department. State Department in 48 hours sent boots on the ground. Boots are on the ground from State Department. They sent boots on the ground to be able to assist in this investigation. Then she repeated, we are not joking here. She talked about how she also engaged the Moroccans on behalf of His Excellency. She engaged the British, and all these people are quite interested. They have people on the ground. She indicated that the investigation is credible. The Justice Minister re-emphasized everything the Foreign Minister said. And he also indicated that we're not going to just pick up people based on hearsay or one major Jomo aside. In fact, right now, the way it looks, they are accusing just everybody. I think the idea is to just find somebody who is maybe close, way up there, find somebody, then they can say, then they can liken it to the failed regime and the failed attempt to fight drugs, but it's all failing. They'll be surprised when the real names start to come up. They will be surprised. They will be shocked. In fact, they already know. They already know by now. They already know. But here is what I gathered today. This is a highly professional investigation ongoing, and I understood today that they're not rushing with it because not that they just want to go pick up people who they found drugs with. It's a different thing, but they are going to the root of the cartel, how this cartel was established or re-established in 2018. They are going to the root of it. Then they will come to the 2019. They will come to 2020 and all of that before coming to 2026. So they go into the root. And when you go down to the root, you have to take up some time. Every day, new names emerge. Every day, different evidence come up. So the investigation is ongoing. Hold your horses. Let's not consume ourselves in the country with this investigation when there are positive things happening. You just saw a footage of the diagnostic center. The diagnostic center. There are going to be two of those, one in Bon County, one in Montserrat, in Margibi County. What that does is it will save us from going to India to go and do our accurate diagnostic check. So we should be proud of that. Tomorrow they're doing the buses, these mini buses. I think more than 20 of them, plus 5 trucks to be able to ply feeder roads. The trucks will go to farms, bring the produce to the markets and all of that. That is helping, directly impacting the people. You saw the Sports Academy yesterday. A lot of positive things are happening in our country today. The Youth and Sports launched the BOTC, I think, there at the SKD Sports Complex. So a lot of positive things are happening in our country, but when it comes to the rule of law, the good news is that this administration, the security sector has the political will. The president of the republic, the number one citizen of the republic, re-emphasized that today in his speech at the commissioning ceremony, that no sacred cows. He re-emphasized, he said you can even be in the government or family ties. Did you pick up that? He talked about you can even be in the government, family ties, or whatever. If the investigation leads to your doorsteps, you will be picked up. Watch and see what will happen in the coming days.
Thank you so much, Patrick. And actually, we'll cover that next. Cole, let's have your response. I know you listen to the Justice Minister.
Can you hear me now? Are you able to hear me? Okay, good. Yeah, so as I was saying before, I think what the Justice Minister has stated should be obvious, that they're not prosecuting people based on rumors, based on the allegations of convicted felons who happen to have a platform and a voice. They're convicting or indicting people, not convicting, but indicting people or investigating people based on where the evidence leads. That should be obvious. Secondly, the Minister of Foreign Affairs has every right as a human being to defend herself against such terrible allegations, defend herself, her reputation, and the reputation of the country. I personally would not have gotten on air myself to address that, but I'm not foreign minister, so she has a different understanding than I do. Because sometimes when you put yourself out there, you're giving credence to things that don't deserve credence. I think the Justice Minister's address of the situation would have been sufficient. And she should have really, maybe that kind of accusation is beneath her dignity, really. But again, we're in a situation where in Liberia, once somebody throw a rock, everybody, oh yeah, yeah, they start running around with it. I heard Mo talk about people living in America and expecting people to do some kind of osmosis by virtue of the air they breathe and the water they drink. Somehow they should have cognitive abilities that we're not necessarily born with. That's not how intelligence works. It's not based on location. It's based on your genetic potential, honestly. And just like people have variation in their heights, some people in Liberia tall, some people in Liberia short, some people in America tall, some people in America short. That the same way how intelligence works. Intelligence is something you're born with. It is your potential, your cognitive potential. So no matter how much you take somebody that's slow and expose them to book, they will still be slow. And even an illiterate person who is naturally intelligent will be more able to reason and solve problems than an educated person with low cognitive ability. So we really have to differentiate between intelligence and education. They're not synonymous. Now, when an intelligent person becomes educated, then that's great. But you know, the situation with people having access to the airwaves and be able to talk and expose their shortcomings is really a modern phenomenon, right? Because in the past, when you dull, you won't have access to talk to plenty of people. Now, once you get credit in your phone, you can have access, or Stanton give you link to join his show. You have access to share your slow cognition with the world. That's what we're witnessing. All kind of people that are not able to reason like rational adults have access to the airwaves, saying all kinds of things. And yes, Leroy, ignorance needs to be responded to by the person being accused most of the time. And I'm in agreement with that most of the time. But in certain positions that you hold, where now, because she, being the most powerful and significant minister in the country, when she addresses this takes world news. Now we're elevating something that was among, foolish people and others, to now it's on the world stage. Now Al Jazeera, everybody can pick it up because our foreign minister has spoken. So it has actually elevated this thing to another level, because when she talks, the world listens. It's the same, almost like the president talking, because she is our super ambassador. Her mouth is the nation of the mouthpiece of the nation when it comes to foreign relations. She is that person in the executive. So whenever Minister Bessel Nancy speaks, the world listens. That's my only reason for saying that I personally think that it was beneath her dignity to even respond to this, giving it credence. But as I said, our environment, we do everything for Liberia. We don't necessarily think about the global consequences of what we're doing. But in my opinion, sitting here in America and listening to a foreign minister of a country addressing frivolous rumors, I felt was unfortunate that they put her in a position to have to do that. And this is their goal, is to undermine, to slander, to cause confusion. And we've said this time without number on this show. Why does it seem like these guys are doing public relations work for the cartel? How does it benefit you and your listeners to be throwing all kinds of confusing things out there to confuse the public, to undermine the investigation, undermine the reputation of our country? You look at a foreign minister of our country and you make that kind of accusation baseless. It's crazy to me. But like I said, maybe she had to respond for reasons I don't know. I personally don't think that deserved the kind of credence it got. You're talking about a person that probably sitting down wearing ankle bracelet, bringing people on his show, accusing them of things that this man has been convicted of a felony. Then you got him holding a platform where they're asking why people are not going to court, why they're not in jail, why he is not in jail, who's actually been convicted. Why we don't ask that question? And why do people keep going on that platform and giving it credence? It's some of the problem here. You're giving credence to things that are not good, are not healthy for your country. All I gotta say, that's what's on my mind. I was very heartbroken seeing her have to defend herself against such terrible, ridiculous accusations.
Thank you, Cole. Before I even play the president tip today, it is actually on the Justice Ministry website. This is published by the Justice Ministry. Minister of Justice, the USMSC holds follow-up meeting on ongoing drug investigation. The Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia today held a productive follow-up meeting with the Chargé d'Affaires of the Embassy of the United States of America to review ongoing cooperation in support of Liberia's ongoing drug investigations. During the meeting, the Chargé d'Affaires reaffirmed the United States government's commitment to supporting the Ministry of Justice in strengthening its capacity to investigate and dismantle organized drug trafficking network. The minister welcomed the continued partnership, noting that the collaboration has progressed beyond discussion, with technical personnel from the United States currently working alongside Ministry of Justice investigators and prosecutors in support of ongoing investigative efforts. So this thing has stretched beyond just this one entity. And if you're interested, like if the Justice Ministry said, if you have any evidence to support whatever claims you're making, please present it to him. But here's the take of the show today. We will actually start with more from the top. But first, let's listen to the president because he said some great things today that we must listen to.
And let me be clear and absolute. To those who seek to bring illegal drugs into Liberia to destroy the lives of our young people, let them hear me today. To those who believe Liberia can be used as a transit point for international narcotic trafficking, let them hear me as well. To those who believe that their positions, influence, wealth, or authority places them beyond the reach of justice, clean your ears and hear me today, well and be warned. We will identify you, we will pursue you, we will find you, and we will deal with you in accordance with the rule of law. There will be no sacred cows in this Joseph Nima Walker administration. No one who engages in criminal activity will be permitted to hide behind poverty, public office, political influence, business interests, and their family connections or any other position of authority. So whether you are a government official, a law enforcement officer, a businessman, a custom broker, or an ordinary citizen, the law must apply equally to everyone. This is the life.
So that was Sode Muali. This was crystal clear. Today at the meeting of commissioning of judges to be scattered across the country. The Barbadian leave nothing on the table. He was crystal clear. Basically, la brim put basically the last say my respect. Said, we put it down. Go ahead, Mo.
If you let say my respect, but yeah, so the other night, Cole was saying something about the resoluteness of JMB, and that's what he proved today in that statement. You know, the level to which he is determined, and he made it clear. You think say you close to power, or you are in position of influence, or you are this, you are that, or ordinary citizen, everybody is under the law and everybody must abide by the law. I mean, you just stated it clearly. If you let yourself, you must respect yourself. Nobody in our government can make chocolate things for us. Because there are people who really just don't care. They just do not care. They are always looking for some opportunity to just damage things for we who care. And that's why the drug fight is so difficult. Because the men can be fighting to get into the system just to chakla it. Now the person will be there, the part of the cartel. So when the security come in, so they will inform you, they come here. You know, today we're in group sitting in my office. And Stephen Johnson said something. He said, when last you saw DEA go to a ghetto to raid the ghetto, and they catch the ghetto owner, a hard walu, all of you on the show, it's an almost impossibility for the DEA people to go raid a ghetto and they catch the ghetto owner. You know, then they can catch normally when they go to the ghetto, that the people who can go take the drugs, before they go there, they got informants all in the DEA, in the everywhere police. They will call and inform them and say, oh, we're coming over there to do that. Person will not be there. And this is really, really terrible. And that's why maybe we just need new human being. You just take them and put them to DEA and other places. New human being. Oh. Because the first thing the women can do, as I heard, when they introduce you, they announce you, the first coming with money. Let me end up on the, I have one from very close big brother, peace be to his ashes. That guy used to be so passionate about the DEA until he joined the DEA. He stayed inside. And one day they made him, he was explaining his own story to me. They made him commander for that Central Monrovia, West Point, everywhere. When they made him commander, 2 days later, a female and when they say, Chief, we gotta go patrol. So he said, okay, you know, being passionate guy, they were going to patrol. He thought they were going to, you know, map out places for them to report for the DEA to go and raid. Not knowing that introduction, they were carrying the men on. They go to the first ghetto, they introduce him. He was just reading the ghetto under, gave envelope. They go to the next one, the next one. He said the last one they ended to in West Point. The things he saw, I can't say it on the show. He went home. He said, boy, I never slept. In the morning, he just wrote his resignation and went and submitted it to the DEA. From that day, he moved him from DEA business. Because then he knew that, okay, the main problem was from there, from the very people who are pretending to fight drugs. From that day, he resigned from the whole DEA thing. He said, I no longer want to be there. If I want to do security job, I'll go do a different place. And he actually went to a security job, different place.
Thank you, Mo. Hopefully, there are additional adjustment. I don't hear echo. I hope the adjustment works. But anyway, Patrick, I want to come to you first. You listen to the president. The issue about sacred cow in Liberia, yeah, man, more. Look. You respect yourself. You let us say you respect yourself. It is simple thing that everybody in Liberia understands. But yes, it's saying the president has spoken because this tendency in Liberia, this big mendism that we have in our country, where people believe when they now arrive to a certain level, they can go in jail. Jail not for them, jail for he not care about that thing. You will pursue them everywhere they are across the country. If you're part of it and the evidence lands on Dwalu's doorstep, they're going to come on Dwalu's doorstep. Do you think people will understand this message, or it will be the old Liberian thing that Baba yeah joking, you will not do nothing? Patrick? Okay. Patrick seems to be adjusting. Patrick, can you hear us?
But across government right now, there is a feeling and there's a
You're
feedback.
good.
I'm
You're
getting a
good. You're
feedback.
good. Okay, go ahead.
Wow. All right. So I was saying right across government right now, there is a feeling, and Mo can attest to that. There is a feeling that no one is secured. That no, you know, that kind of feeling when you're together, but you have that feeling like you got to be looking over your shoulders. You got to be careful. And that is the feeling that gives you, gives you the passion to do what you do, gives you the confidence to do what you do. If you slip or you
I think Patrick is having some technical issues. Blair, let's come to you, and then before we go back to Brother Abraham, go up to call. Your issue now, do you think people think this is serious, or is it same old Liberian thing? About you're talking, not what government is that?
Dwalo, there is nobody who is in central government presently that is not feeling the breeze of what is happening. Where everybody is taking this thing seriously, Dwalo, is those that are being arrested within central government, most especially at the national security level. Imagine the government intelligence arm, the NSA, people who are there are being arrested. From within the police, they are being arrested. And the thing about it, Dwalu, is this. The people who are arresting them or ordering the arrests are their own colleagues. Imagine if you do not work within the national security apparatus, do you think they will compromise you? They can never. And that is why you see those who are throwing memes out there. Then the police IG said, any person will go back to the PUL that gave the government or the police or the national security apparatus 48 hours to come out with evidence that people from within the press are being paid by cartels. Where are they? That the foreign affairs minister's name is being called. I'm not here to back Cyril Bensalou. I'm not going to put my hair on the chop bowl for any government official. But have they called this institution to give them the facts surrounding that the government, because if you see the Minister of Foreign Affairs, it's the government we're talking about, the executive. If you say she signed diplomatic, because it's diplomatic cocaine, I would say it at that. To go to another country, have the PEUL call this membership. To say, where is the evidence against the Minister of Foreign Affairs? Not specifically the minister, but the Minister of Foreign Affairs. They have it. So to your question, Dwalu, nobody in this government presently is taking this lightly, because like the president said, these are strong words from the president. The president is simply trying to say you cannot hide. The dragnet is open. It's going to catch whosoever is responsible. But there's the thing, Dwalu. People, non-government actors, non-state actors, have said that the government should catch the real people. They've said, even the government is arresting people, where did the drugs come from? How did it enter the country? I hope now that the president has said there is nobody that is going to hide away from this dragnet, that this investigation have gone to 2020, 2021. Since they've asked where is the drugs entering the country from, they want the origin, and the president is making these strong statements. I hope there's not a witch hunt, But in order for us to be able to get to the root of this, and the fact is that Dwalu, we cannot eradicate this thing from Liberia. We have to be strong to fight it. And that is where we're going. And I hope with the strong statement from the president and the National Security Intelligence deepen its investigation, that when they drag their hawks anybody, that nobody comes onto the street to protest. Because it's not about position. It's not about imposition. It's not about opposition. It's about the security of the state. And that is what the president is all about.
Thank you, my brother Blair. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, to the Republic TV, my man, if I call everybody who want me to call them back, I will not even sleep. 24 hours will be up. So the number is posted on the screen every day. Call me. I would never call you unless I absolutely have to. Cole, that come to you. Why do you think the president made it his business to list things like, if you're in my government, if you're big shot? I'm breaking it down for the Liberian level. If you think you have position, if you have big name, there will be no sacred cow. Why does he have to say that? Why shouldn't that go without saying?
He's saying it because he knows people don't know. That's all. He knows things we don't know. So that's why he's saying it. And those who know that he knows, the message reached them. That man is very experienced and wise. He had security for our country. He's the head of security for our country. Right? He's the real head of joint security. He's the real head of the entire executive, the apparatus that runs the country. So there's nothing that is happening in the investigation that he's very much interested in, that he's not aware of. So I'm sure he's thoroughly briefed. He knows far more than most people. The ones, the Martins, then are running around doing free PR for drug cartels, acting like he the one investigating the case. People leaking him information, which is illegal and unethical. Then he posting it, acting like he the one investigating the case. They don't know anything. The people who actually know are briefing the president thoroughly. So when he speaks this way, I feel it in my core, because I know that he's using that language intentionally. He's not just talking to appease people. He's letting them know, hey, I've been briefed. And don't think that just because I appointed you, or I know you, or we connected, or that you in the House, the Senate, you didn't say this. But it should let everyone know, no matter who you are, you're subjected to the laws of our country. And whoever, he's not going to, basically what he's saying to us is he's not offering immunity to anyone, which he has the power to do. That's profound. And I would say, I'm not saying that previous presidents throughout our history, we've had a lot of presidents, from Joseph to Joseph, from Joseph Jenkins Roberts to Joseph Nima Boyka. We've had a lot of presidents. I'm not saying no previous president has been this tough. I have not seen any evidence, any written statement or spoken word that has been recorded in history of a Liberian president or any president of any country that I've studied speak this way. I have to give this man his flowers. This is incredibly courageous for a political figure to speak this way. Because most politicians are worried about re-election and keeping their alliances and their friendship, and not about the country they were elected to serve. What President Boyka is telling us is this: with everything that he has, he's going to do right by the Liberian people, even if it hurts people who are close to him. That he's putting Liberia first. That is something that we shouldn't take lightly. And Dwalu, for the record, I'm not a sycophant. I'm not a praise singer. I hold everyone to an extremely high standard. If I can sit here today and tell you that I am so deeply appreciative, and touched and moved almost to tears by the sincerity and the courage exhibited by our president, the level of patriotic duty exhibited by our president. I don't think any of you have ever heard me speak this way. But President Boakai, as a person, I've always respected him. I've always looked up to him as a human being, and I've also looked up to him as a leader. Now I look up to him to be one of the most courageous people of our entire history. And Dwala, I'm going to ask you to not be putting people funny statements up while we're talking about something else. It's very distracting, even for the viewers. We can do that after someone speaks, but when you do it, it's like, we're not listening to each other. We're just, putting up funny comments. But I'm done. Y'all go ahead.
Yeah, we try to highlight them, but if it's disturbing, I need to
if we highlight something, let it be related to the subject that's being discussed by the panelists, and then or after the person is done talking.
I got you. It makes a lot of sense. Abraham, I know you have not commented on this thing. The thing about sacred cows in our country, and we know. I'm not asking that question because I'm naive to what happens in Liberia. There is this tendency, Abraham, in our country, certain people that reach a certain level, they are beyond reproach, right? So there's this saying in Liberia, so you get $100 US in your pocket, you can go to jail. You understand me? Now it's come to the point now where this drug issue is not something you can do on a cover. I just read here what the Americans, how involved the Americans are, and how much they're willing to help this country to get beyond the point where we ratify this drug. We know what drugs is done globally. The best time to ratify this thing is in its infancy. It's still early yet on the drug front, even though we have a lot of drugs in the country, but this is the best time to fight it. What message will you give to Liberian that they too got to get involved? President Boakai alone cannot do this. He can make all the proclamations, but at the end of the day, we got to put our hand there too to fight it in a proper way. That is, I'm not saying physically we'll fight it, but be reporting to the police, to the DA, where the drug is located across the country. Abraham.
Eduardo, let me say thank you. The president has just said it all. So it left now with the full soldiers for them to be able to encourage, motivate our citizens for them to remain patient. Because this drugs thing that we are all discussing like this, it did not just start under this regime. This drugs business started 6 years or more than 6 years ago. So something that have been into our society, something that have been almost like normal into our society, so it will take the joint security time for them to be able to uproot all those that are connected to that. And I strongly believe that this is the best way possible that they are going about doing it. Not to add insult or more injury, the president, the commander-in-chief, have made it very much clear that there will be no sacred cow. Whether you like it or not, hear the president very well. If you are connected to it, hear him. So, Donald, all we need to be doing is to be informing our populations, informing our comrades, informing the able lieutenants, the fourth soldier about their drugs, about the way the president is taking it seriously. And this whole thing about for me to be able to see Sarah Besler Yanti. That thing almost brought tears to my eye. For me to be able to see that woman justifying. Like I am saying, if a radio station that will be open and they will be spreading bad news, it is better for us to be able to close that radio stations. Because Liberia is not noted for bad things. So for me, I will strongly support any other person. I hear some of us saying that, no, I can't put my neck. For me, I can put my neck on chopping board for Sarah Besroyanti and that of Mama Kability. Yes, indeed, I can do it. Because I know these ladies have built their character, they have laid their character for the interest of our country. Few days ago, or if not few days ago, we saw the Vera ambassador presenting the letters of credence to our president. You think it just happened out of nothing? You think it just happened out of the blue sky? No. So, Dwaru, it will be better for us to inform our populations. It is a better thing that we are doing as we are doing it. Thank you.
Thank you, Abraham. More before we even go to the final topic, just something.
Dalu, just 1 minute. I want to respond to that because my brother made a statement. I think I spoke
Okay, go ahead quickly.
I spoke about Chobo. When I speak about Chobo, I'm being bold to tell people that even if I know you, I don't know anybody that I know myself. I know people, and it's not directly referred to Cyril Beslu or Mamaka Belete or whoever in government. It is about me being my true self. Because what we are experiencing, what we came up with the Liberian people, and what we're seeing today, we did not expect people from within the sector to have done that. It's not about people presenting letters of credence. Many countries want to establish diplomatic relationships. I think the democratic credentials of this country is what presents itself, the leadership of the country. While we respect the person who has the foreign relations of the country, but the head of the country is what, if the head of the country is rocking, no matter how much foreign relations you have, it really presents the level of credence. So I didn't mean to want to denigrate somebody, but I'm saying, for a fact, you are dealing with human nature. And human nature, the traits, according to biology, it changes at any time. So it's not meant to denigrate one or two persons within the diplomatic sector or within the foreign sector, but the fact here is that we are running a government. And when things are happening, people whom you have not my brother is right to put his head on the chalkboard for people because, I mean, these are people he's interacted with, and Mamaka Belete, he knows her I think he knows her well. He knows the Minister of Foreign Affairs well, okay? I have not interacted with them, so I'm able to say I cannot put my head on the chalkboard for people. So when we say these things, we can back a government, but we don't do it out of the blind because it's not about individual. It's about 5 million people that we're talking about here, that we have given to one person to spearhead. And all of the people that this man is employing, appointing his government, he doesn't know them. And that is why you see some of the things that we are experiencing today. So I just want us to be cognizant of that as parents, when we make comments, it's not that we are against people, but we just be cautious of what we say.
Thank you, Abraham. I mean, thank you, Blair. If you can mute for me. Mo, I want you to close out on this. Can you guys mute, please? I don't know what the hell is going on with this thing. You muted, Blair. Thank you so much. Mo, Patrick began with this thing about a healthy fear in the government. Not a fear that you're so afraid, but you're fearful of ruining your good name if you do something ridiculous. Now, the president has spoken this. Like I said before, this should go without saying. We don't need to mention it, especially if you hold a very important position in the country. You're supposed to carry yourself a certain kind of way. There are certain things you should not be doing in the country to disrespect the office that you hold or shame the very people that love you. The question will come to you more because you are in the government. Do you think across our government, not before President Bwaka spoke, but not now, but before he did speak, do you think people had a healthy fear of the position they are holding and recognize that if they did something wrong, the papi will come after them, or not the papi, but the law will come after them, or la simo simo? Go ahead, Mo.
So, Dwalu, I believe that from the first sets of actions the president took in year one, dismissing people. In fact, at a certain point in time here, when we heard somebody was suspended, we knew you were gone for good. People know. Government officials know that when they catch you, you are gone. But you see, the problem about it is the same thing like you say, oh, because they catch somebody for crime, for stealing, they prosecute them, they put them in jail, or they go somewhere, they catch some rogue mob violence and the person die as a result, so people will not do stealing again, they will not commit crime again. That was not possible. When the man is stealing, they're doing bad, the thought is that the man who they catch, he's stupid about the caught him. Upa was smart. So people who do bad, they always think that they're very smart until they can catch them. So that fear is there and people understand it. But people are just absolutely brave, and so they will do anything once it comes to their personal enrichment and other things. So it's not that they are not cognizant of the fact that when they catch you, you will go. Because the president we work for does not encourage it. He's not going around looking for money to give to girlfriend. I sit with the president most of the time and I see what he really needs money for is to give out to people. Like somebody comes, they have a problem, school fees, scholarship, ain't no personal problem, he likes to do that. But if it's not there, it's not there. And I think that's something we all should learn from. So people, they are aware. The very people then who they sack, who are allegedly or were allegedly involved into the drug thing, sitting in high places, some of them deputy director, managing director, or in the police or in the DEA or NSA. How can you, for example, being an NSA agent and you say you're doing something one day they will not catch you? How can you be in the DEA or in the police and you think they will not catch you forever because you are in the police and you know how to cover your track? The people who you are dealing with, the day they catch them, they will call your name. Some people there, they say me, anytime they catch me, I'm not going alone. I'll go down with someone. So people are aware, very aware.
And more, I don't think even people even plan to say, I'm going down alone. But once they catch you, the investigation starts and they start squeezing you, you will talk. Even if you don't intend to talk, when you start seeing the amount of time that is before you. Before we even go to the phone line today, I want to get to Grand Crew County. Let's listen to the superintendent a little bit. A lot of things
Hold on. 1 second, girl. Let me just ask a question to Mo.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Mo, you think that this thing was just surface, one or two people? It was a complete dragnet of a spider web or octopus of collusion. They have layers of protection in there on different levels from what I'm seeing from the way they're calling names. Private sector, government. I won't be surprised they drag pastors and imams outside too. God forgive me.
God, let me
it's
hold you
scary.
1 minute. Don't say God forbid.
God forgive me, but it's scary. The way they layer this thing.
You say God forgive me. But today I got information. I can say it is very credible, but the information I got is that there are even top religious people
That's what I'm
one or
saying.
two who are involved. So
The
it's
reason,
like you said,
Mo, let me
it
tell you
cuts
why I said it.
across, and there are layers of
Y'all want to see a
protection.
couple of my hair on the trouble.
Let me tell you why I asked the question, why I brought it up. So I grew up watching, this is gonna sound so silly, but I grew up watching Albert, your daughter's so adorable. I grew up watching, these crime movies and stuff like that. You grew up watching this stuff. And it sounds silly because it's not real life. But for example, the mafia always had the church involved because they fall under the radar. You can hide things in churches, right? You can hide things. It's just sick. And as the justice ministry and the joint security start pulling these names, they start hauling rope. The rope starts hauling the forest. I think these people felt that it was impossible for them to be caught because of the layers they have put in place. That even if they catch one person, a person called name, they got people all over the place that will protect them. Do you know what it means for the deputy at LDA to be indicted? Do you know what it means? That is like these people. So more, I only brought it up to say that I don't think that they believed that even if somebody snitched on them, that anybody would take it seriously or go after them. Because you know how many names have been called in the past? They say they grabbed Claudia brother in Sierra Leone with drugs. Nothing came out of it. So they feel that they're safe and protected. And this thing is beyond political party. Greed and wickedness. These people playing with us. Go ahead, Dwally. You want to change the subject to Grand Crew County? Let's go ahead. I just wanted to talk about it, drug thing, a little bit longer because I'm in
No,
shock.
I mean, the thing is we can talk about it a little bit more, and which I don't mind. You'll be giving the what the justice minister is saying. I thought you guys were tired with the topic, but the problem here is across the country, today or yesterday, they're actually getting entertainment spots people involved in it as well. So, for instance, I was talking about it in the beginning, Cole. Let me stick with you for a second. Cole is running the entertainment shop in Liberia somewhere, and we know on average they don't make that kind of person money, but the person is driving a massive suburban. A lot of quote unquote Zogo type people like only place they can go. If you get involved, they're going to arrest you. So this thing may be much, much deeper than we say, but Kobe, you're right. So because it was so layered on the previous administration, people felt, well, even if they catch this person, it's going to stop right there because I guess so many protection in between is not going to reach my level. So everybody was very, very comfortable. And there's a secondary reason why the people actually came in the country at that time. For some reason, the feedback is actually coming from StreamYard. It's not coming from us. Because for some reason, when I'm off entirely, but my man, you keep coming back on by. For some reason, okay, all right. So Blake, got to mute a little bit. Then I will come to you. When we go back and forth with the drug issue across the country, now the president has done his part. My issue here, Cole, if you're able to give a message to the regular Liberian, because the president cannot fight drug alone from the executive mansion. If somebody is in Vonjima or the person is in Barclayville, what do you expect from local people? What should they be doing to help counter this fight against drug? Because this has to be holistic across the country. Carl?
I mean, for the everyday average Liberian person, when we're talking about international, transnational trafficking, I think it's just for them to shine their eyes. But really, I don't think they're going and involving too many everyday people in their collusion, right? Also, this whole thing of us, when we talk about deregulating our ports of entry or decentralizing our ports of entry and all of these things, we got to be careful. We need tighter scrutiny. We need unified systems of security. I don't think we should be breaking apart our ports and all of these things and making it easier for cartels to control individual harbors and things in our country. I think we need to look at all of that. And I think the local population and the push for decentralization has to realize that there's security implications to decentralizing certain things. Our borders, our ports need to be heavily controlled. a centralized and dispersed security apparatus that's well coordinated and coalesced is the way forward, in my opinion. But as far as local people are concerned, the drugs that are consumed locally are very bad for the next generation. You know, alcohol, marijuana, the thing they call kush, all those local drugs, they're terrible, but that's a separate issue from this cocaine international transnational trafficking thing. And I think what there should be a wake-up call to our local people is that if they can drag big people for transnational drug operations, they will also come after local people for poisoning the children in the local communities too. And I don't know about the rest of you on this platform, but I am also personally affected. I have family members in Liberia, young children, you know, kids that grew up around my own son's age. My nephew got caught up in this drug abuse thing. My handsome, intelligent, brilliant nephew. So it hits close to home for some of us. You know, so local people, while we can say all day, oh, well, like people don't use cocaine, but you create a subculture of drug abuse. You bringing in drugs that are cheap and destructive, and our children are taking them. My nephew has been to rehab. These things destroy lives. They destroy lives. They destroy potential. So, Dwalu, my message to the local people is say something. Don't allow and harbor drug dealers and drug business, my own mom, them. It's not market. You can't make market with the children's health and the children's lives. Not everything that you can sell to make money is okay. That's the devil's work. Stick to your bitter ball. Stick to your plantain, your cassava. The fast money thing is destroying the children.
Now let come to you and Blair. Let me ask you this because let's go to the local community. Carl says something. You know, this is an open secret in Liberia. Some of the women where used to say the better boy and okra, it to them they think that fast money. It's easy money. They get task small thing. In fact, I've actually gone in the community walking about and I see people just sitting that outside, just in a cavalier way, just tying a small weed in, and tying it and put it in plastic. It is normal. How do we unnormalize that? Or do our people really understand the effect of this thing? Or they just say, my man, I'm looking for daily bread. Now, one thing the president did say was this. You will not use poverty to say, oh, because I'm poor, that why I was selling drugs. The president said, no, he's not going to agree. You cannot use your current socioeconomic position, or you can say, oh, I didn't have money, that why I sold drugs. That's not an excuse. It's actually in his court. Blair, your response to that, and how do you say to our people what they should be doing? On mute, Blair, on mute.
Thank you, Dwalu. That is a difficult one for me to say because I want to be very much straightforward. Before it gets in the community, I think we need to tackle it from the entry points. Because Dwalu, there is a thing. You see that in the Western world today, they know that they cannot cope with the influx of these marijuana and other things. Now they call it recreational drugs. Now they say coffee shops, you can take certain quantity and the rest of them. At a certain point, I hope we do not reach there. Okay, they are looking at the top dogs now when it comes to the drugs, the cocaine and some of the high grades stuff. But to be able to limit it within the communities, why we will not legalize it as the Western countries have done. I think we should be able to set up much more tighter mechanism at the entry points and the inland checkpoints. Because what I'll tell you, my experience going to Grand Cape County in June, when I went through the Gola and the Vai forests, driving along the roads, because it is a government vehicle, the checkpoints were just dropped and we passed through. I think that is one of the weaknesses in government security. Because, Dalu, these government vehicles that are not security vehicles, they cannot just be given absolute privilege to pass through the checkpoints. Like I said from the beginning, we are dealing with humans and human nature here. These same people, if people can use security vehicles to transport cocaine, do you think people who are driving normal government vehicles, they are not able to transport other drugs through checkpoints to get into the communities? I think what we need to do here before we get to the community is tightening securities along our very entry and inland checkpoints. If we are inspecting, we must inspect to be able to detect these illicit substances that must not enter the community. Now, mind you, there are some that will enter the community, but we must be able to put in much more stringent measures that will be able to streamline these things that are passing through the checkpoints and coming. I know people will complain at a certain point in time. Even the Senator Amara Kone complained about checkpoints and the rest of them. There's the country, our borders are poor, very porous borders. Okay, like I said one time, I can come from Guinea and enter Liberia through the Yekepa area around there, the Sekimpa area there. Nobody will know that I entered Liberia because I know the butchers. I know the butchers there well. I used to tow sometimes 50 bags of okra for my mom from Guinea to Liberia or daytime in the weekends. So I know the border line there very well. Now, the challenge, Dwalo, is the inland. Because some of these things, especially these illicit drugs, they will not come through the main entry points. Some of these are grown in the deep forest of Liberia, and they are transported to the urban areas when they leave these farms. So I think what government should do is that security vehicles must be given priority, but other vehicles are carrying ministers' plates or government plates. Ministers, they can just, minister, let me see this about carrying government plates, and the minister or a high-profile government official is not in that vehicle. I think we should now begin new policies that will be able to help safeguard these illicit drugs from entering the communities. Because once they enter the community, Dwalu, I don't think we have control anymore. Because that is the targeted point to reach the communities for the targeted buyers to be able to buy them. But what can we do to prevent them from entering the communities?
Thank you so much, Blair. I'm sorry, Mo, you and Abraham, I will give you 1 minute each to talk on this issue. We got to go to the phone line. Harris, if you're in the back, start making preparation to come on. But let me come to you first, Abraham. Speak to the police officers at these checkpoints. Most of the checkpoints around Liberia, they are not real checkpoint. They're just play for the minute to find money. What would you say to them? Because any guy coming there, asking getting small thing. Because now they will be held culpable because if they allow drugs to pass, they can be arrested for allowing drugs to pass. I mean, they are not doing their job. Abraham.
Donald, we just need to have the rightful men trained and be able to put trust in our own security sector. That is the only thing. Because, like you said, there are some checkpoints that don't need to be a certain place at a certain time. I understand that. But those checkpoints, they are there for a reason. Those checkpoints that are very erected there, sometimes you will see checkpoint to a certain place in the night. In the day, there is no checkpoint there. That checkpoint is there for the reason. So I strongly believe that we should be able to empower our security sector. We should be able to empower our DEA officer. We should be able to empower our police officer. Like you regularly said, there are some times that our police, they don't have our drugs enforcement officer, they don't have the rightful items for them to be able to detect to drugs coming into the country. They lack our security, they lack the screening material. So it is about time that we'll be able to ask the security sector for them to be able to have those training material be distributed to every checkpoint. Every checkpoint there should be, if not, there should be like those dogs, the white geese. Let them be. Our government can be able to invest in some of those dogs. We can be able to invest in that. That as soon that you bring anything that's smelling than cocaine, the dog will go around you and be able to hang on that. So we should be able to talk mostly about our security sector being empowered and being empowered appropriately.
Thank you, Abraham. And I'll let what you say about door, but like we're not the door area. We all control. We'll be giving the door. Let's hear our story more closer on this topic before we go. You got 1 minute more. Gotta go to the phone line. We'll be giving door. What else? We'll be giving the door.
The way our country looks, if checkpoints are usually on the main roads or on roads, if people are bringing stuff, they can easily bypass checkpoints. Even our borders are so wild and big and very easy to cross. For example, during the dry season, you can just walk across the Mano River at certain points. And I'm sure it's like that with other places. So the fighting drugs is a difficult thing because the guys themselves are very, very determined. And I remember once they caught an ambulance, and the ambulance was actually transporting drug. Some security guard at the checkpoint, I think it was to clear, just got brave and said today, "Pa, will see the sick person in the ambulance." Because they just used to get on and woo, 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 woo. And you know, they may say every time you pass in here, woo, let me see today. They go open the ambulance and drugs inside. So it is a difficult thing. So it's just determination. And for me, what we are doing now, dismantling from the top layer by layer, is good. At some point in time, yeah, there will be some people who will put fear in them and they will be more cautious in doing that stuff. But like the president said, our play will not be safe haven, our play will not be a conduit, it will not be a transit point.
Thank you, Mo Ali. Thank you very, very much. Before we come on the show, before my brother go, let's see JMB song for about 30 seconds before we start taking some calls.
Developmental civil, you see la brings. La brings, you see something. That's the president we're talking about. You see it? Now, see, I keep phoning government here. The president broke down for 8 December. See it now. This is the National Clinical Diagnosis Center that the president broke down for 8. La brings, you see it? Today, the 6th of August. You don't go, you don't scroll, you like the video. You see massive. Can't see something. So, yeah, can't see the first settle there. That the first gate here that will enter in the diagnosis center. So you see the security, you see the settle there, you see up here, you see the settle there. This is the security booth. You see the security booth, you see oh yeah, see, and the place have 3 elevators, right? Then they get a mirror for the disabled people, our brother and sister, who can walk on it. So they will be putting it on the wheelchair. They own a place here. That area, in lawyer man give me, we are behind the 14 military hospital.
We got a massive time. Yes.
Let me ask a question. That's what I can be in the cry, can be in the air.
It is not my CCTV. But we got big cool. We got big cool. All right, that's just some calls from our people from back home, guys. Let's mute.
Okay, so we'll go to the lines and take your calls tonight. 0778 665 699. 080561644 and 0776293620. And I'll read the number once again: 0778 665 699. 080561644
Good evening, Harry.
I'm doing great. Let's hear you.
Okay, my name is Jay Linomba, and I join you from station number 6, the chairman of the Forgotten Rescuer. Let me say thank you to the panelists tonight, the Dwalu, and the rest of the panelists tonight. For this, on the issue of the judge, Harry, you clearly see that this president is intentional about the fight against drugs. You can clearly, from the tone of the president today, when they were commissioning those judges, you will hear that the president said that there is no static cow. There's going to be no static cow. There's going to be no one. If you think that you can use our country as a place of even trade to come and just do your job daily and go, then if we identify you and catch you, just know that we'll deal with you according to the law. So it clearly shows that the president is intentional about the fight against drugs. We didn't see these things years ago. So this president meant well for the fight against drugs. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Let's leave you to more calls. 0778 665 699. 080561644. 0776293620. This person, good evening. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, you live.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Calling for the United Party Election Bureau. Thank you so much for my people in the studio for work to carry on the library people in that easy thing. Thank you so much and leave for the state so many development. Today, all EFPC know our opinion put to for Monterey, but the whole Monterey. The whole country said that the same country, but it's in the south. Development country to have opinion put. And thank God to the education minister. At least she did well. She did well for free education for our children. That what they call government. We're not in the people water for nothing. We for the United Party Election Bureau always can tell our leader the truth, and we can tell the Muya across the road that we all have a great country. You are saying that right? Nobody can answer the skip for nobody job. Being the fact, why you can't be the fact? Then Martin calling us in Bureau. So we all about him. Martin calling be the fact. Then the president was supposed to go commission and the judge and the civil only said about son and wood. Being the fact, I will move up for the government. But you have to have joined our party to a toilet or enough. The only party going back for that cool all there or summer program. So now what I can't do, so they get back to summer program to say, that must be the second family. They can't walk up. Yeah. We will go to our children, at least someone that go back, someone that go back, to education, someone that go back to business, yes, and then Swati. Look on the thing that before, thank God to the government, thank God to Dwalu, thank God to more, thank God to other one. Who will be that activity to educate who is that bread.
Okay, thank you. Let's leave you take more calls. 0776293620. 080561644 and 080561644 and 0778665699. Adding numbers. So take more of the calls. This person from line 1, you like the name you call from what?
Yeah, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Let's hear you.
All right. I'm very, very grateful to our president for that particular statement. But what I already analyzed for that is that I accept with my own understanding, I got to know that this particular joint issues that we face with, the source deriving from only two places. That is the police and also the DEA. For example, one police happen that for example, I mean, if an LGA is coming to a particular community for today, the news can circulate before even the people arrive. You see it? But what can start out that at least the news begin to circulate before the people arrive? It can happen because there are people who see that power media and already want the news to the people that to the judge leader. To the judge leader, excuse me. So before they arrive, the judge leader are already taking their own lawful. The people that their people are always strong when they come to see them, they begin to kick them. Blood, they put all kinds of things to them. They are not the problem. The main problem are people then, that are distributing those materials. So, for my own, opinion, I believe that the FDA have been compromised by committing, drug dealers. So, the government had to revisit those places, the racial and social mechanism in place.
Okay, thank you. Leave you this person. Good evening. Good evening, let's hear you.
This is Felix Kipe Junior calling from Marble, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Let me put on menu for it to be on discussion. And then to a point, I heard somebody saying that you can put a alien shall be over or Europe, I would like to tell you, man, when it's money gets spirit. Anyone who when you see money, they can become power. Who are power, see money, become good.
Say so long, almost small.
It's the same amount of ability in the yellow market story came about when you're there to go and raise. It gave a different story. And then the about the power now was there, it gave a different story. The story was not corresponding to the power president. So after you can put their head on top of
Okay. Thank you. Leave you this person is on Josiah Small. Let's hear you. You live.
Thank you, Harry, from the organizations. Josiah Small, the line from the Commandant Bishop, members of the United Party and Electoral Bureau. Let me say thanks to the panelists and among the others. Let me say thanks to this call. You know this country, I always say this. The thing that chasing after you is not laughing. But you like chasing after you laughing, you shouldn't catch up with you. That's what happened to us on the previous regime today. This government has come and flattened it to the core. These are drug issues. When it is standard, and we as a country, as the people, we are down. We see that no way happening all this government. I think we have recently minimized the way it is now. But thankfully, we like people. We said arrest, rescue. This is what the government is arresting drugs, arresting war issue and other issues. No, the thing that chasing out of us, we were laughing. All of this was a thing, that the government would bring the cartel favor of president. That's what we're supporting it. It's the quality efforts. And think to the foreign minister today, for the quality of military press briefing. Tell you how well she plays on the security. Now what she telling journalists or whosoever that say impact it very well to bring the new folks to the security so that we can look at the tough issues, so that we can minimize
Okay.
We are not here perform. We make business for the next generation and the next election.
Thank you.
Hello?
Thank you. Leave you this person. Good evening. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, here's the rapper from Congo Tamparu. I say thank you to all family. Thank you, man. Inside, that the problem we need. Let me say, young guy, if you listen to me or any of you listening, you can't verify it. You won't know your heart. If you come out of power, you won't see I mean. So no way you saying it is President George. Thank you.
Thank you. Leave you 077-866-5699. 080-561-644. 077-6299. 623. Take at least 2-3 more calls, then we'll return to the panelists. This person, Good evening.
Good evening.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, my name is Jangita. You want to start more after you tell me for water community. That would be that we all need to go what you want. Yeah, I want to say things to more Ali. Now, out of mind, set a tree who government to the that people. No, this government, a quarter of wisdom and vision. They are not there to play. People that want to see the soul, see the injured. When for impact airport stays there, the United one capture, and we discover today they want to use it to come to power. They get within their time. Because in our state here, I think more fire when it says because the power is in our state here, we pass the water for 10 hours. In our state here, we pass one the government for 10 hours. In what we want 3 or 4 times in there. So, the people said that we say, couple Ghana state to for in power. So all the issues it has to be well for who fire when it's there, the COVID-19 was up with the money, down the staff. So the government already feel that when people put the government that government, but the thing when it's still only the one for the government will still okay like that. This government cannot be breaking jobs. I see that it's put in there. Every apple out the bow, so the bow now is down with the movie. The one I was there was this.
Thank you. Thank you. I believe you take our very last caller from this end. This person is live. You, the name and where you called from.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Jason. I'm calling from Ghana.
Go ahead.
Yeah, further, let's send my greeting to the chief and the individual function. To the issue. For me, I want to opinion on this. If the government can increase our citizenship or salary, however, they will still accept grants from those people that bring the to the country. Because from the war, just has been passed to the poor. And how does it just reach money from other places? They pass through those bills of entry. So what we can do as government or as the people, we can specialize the alcohol for poor or zero for a country that will be so for the technical aspect which you provide camera for all this year. Then when I camera is still there at the regional hub, it will just similar to 8 heads or regarding the day-to-day activities of the operation around poor. Like what happened in America. Even America that have all that technical aspect, they just end up. All the government is we increase salary, they want to pay them. I don't feel about doing intelligent inside the minister provide information on police or any or official that will be linked into interest or connection with what that is meant will be able to hold the issue of just in the country.
Thank you. Thank you. Our very last caller from this end.
Eduardo. Yeah, the Harris is down.
Harris,
we don't have the calls on this end.
Okay, thank you. Let's take our international callers. Let me put the number on the screen real quickly. 1963. That was very quick today, Harris. Thank you very much. Let's take some calls. We spoke about a lot of stuff here tonight. Let me plug this stuff in. It takes 1 second, and we are good. You can make. Let's take your call. Caller, you are live. Your name and where you calling from?
Hey, brother. This is Hashem calling from Allentown, Pennsylvania.
I see you're live.
Yeah, thank you guys for the show and thank you for holding the ground. My question is, people are parading with this lies. How the bar that the president went to the other night, that's where they arrested the bar owner of in the condition of drugs. So I want for you guys to clear the air. What where the president, which of the bar you went to? Because people are parading from here in the country. Like, bro, they are carrying it around. People that are started grading the posting on their Facebook page. So I really want to know.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Caller, you're live. Your name and where you calling from? Hello, caller.
brother?
Yeah, you're live.
Thank you for the opportunity, brother. You know what I want for all to do? You see, when I was AMP, everybody that here part of them is elected. And I tell what you say, SOR. Any car coming for in the interior, so don't you get SOR. She coming, they're hoping to get something, yeah, body, car. They don't want to know, they're hoping, they're hoping, she run. So why want to do some of the security they have? We interpret it. But some of them just say the rest of it will never be anything. So what I want for us to do, I want people to give the security checks to do it. When you're honorable, you come inside your car, you start with the checkpoint and you check everywhere. You need to driver safety. You should live for that check everywhere. And one of the key issues.
Thank you.
Secondly, anybody that he government be whosoever said with a sexual president, when the Congo movie, yeah, or can you want to honorable some point they get it? Well, what about it? Yeah, no one is the way. So there's some key thing issue that we have to look at. Secondly, when you got looking what I was saying, you know that nothing Russia.
Small.
When you go to school, you have breakfast in the morning.
Thank God.
Pushing far, but I don't want to be a food step. So what in so we speak person of God, I want to tell you right here. Any person of God, go is their home. This is why he declared somewhere like
People.
God is do anything, they give you 50 to your hero.
Thank you.
So
Thank you so much. Thank you. Helen Flomo, that a lot of people there, man, the president can go to bar when they get ready. No one said they won't come up with. They no propaganda. They get the line to themselves. Call your live and where you coming from.
Hi, Eduardo. This is Chris Smith calling from Boston, Massachusetts.
Hey, Mr. Smith, welcome.
Cool. Follow. Look at what really happened on the night those guys dispatched the Coast Guard team from Freeport to Rawalport. We watched the whole thing live in real time as those guys were loading. The total amount of men they put on the boat, the amount of water they gave them, the kind of guns they had in the air. Anybody that sees that boat loading from Freeport and knowing the kind of boat they were using, you will know when the boat will arrive in Rawalport.
Yep.
You would know exactly when the boat, you would say there was any kind of issue.
What?
But that we should be grateful. I didn't sleep down there. I had migraine. If those guys were real wicked people, they would have waited for those guys to open fire on them. They were talking something completely different.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We need helicopters. We need helicopters. We need more aggressive boats. Color your live.
Hello.
You're live.
Yeah, this is Bokai calling you from Iowa.
Yeah, Bokai, what's up, brother?
Yeah, man. Brother, I want to really ask you, what is press freedom? Because, I mean, why is the government acting so the way they do? Because I don't think that what is going on in Liberia presently is press freedom. No. You can't get on a radio station and accuse someone falsely, insult the government without proof.
Yeah.
You can't do that. There's no country in this world that you see that going on. Check around Africa and see radio stations, Tony. And I just want to say something here. The genocide in Rwanda started from radio station for a single journalist. Liberia had to be careful. What is LTC doing? What is the telecommunication doing? What are they doing? Why are they not regulating these radio stations? Okay. It's so troubling. It's troubling, Dwalu. And another thing I just want to say here is that, let me just inform my CDC friends and very well. Lying is not propaganda. No circumstances that lying will be propaganda. And they will tell you, say, Angel did the same thing too, so we're doing it.
Thank you.
That doesn't work.
Thank you.
We have coming back. Let me just in 1 minute, please. Let me just say something to you. During the CDC time, were they not auditor killed? Auditor with slaughter. They died in succession. no investigation. During CDC time, were there none or 25 million more exercise? It was. So you need to party use that to emphasize it in the ears of people for people to know that what was going on.
Thank you, Bogart. Thank you so much. We got so many calls. Yeah, my brother. Thank you. I hear you, Tracy. Right? You know, Samuel Toy, he was nickel slick. He was the security guard in border high change. Call it your life. Yeah, your life.
Yeah, this is Osino King. I'm calling from Staten Island.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to throw light on a representative today that posted on Facebook that the road the building to go to
Yeah, don't make it one lane.
to be 2 lanes
Yeah.
instead of 4 lanes.
Yeah.
I just want to say something here. You see, I was in Bombing Hills during the time they were making that Bombing Hill Road
Yeah.
between 1975 and 1976. The people wanted that road to be 4 lane. They went there and said, oh no, it's too big. You make it 2 lane will be okay. They make it 2 lane, they chop the other money. Today, you see the impact?
Yep.
Now in those federal multilateral high school between the Tolman and Tolman regime, they want to build those schools in all the country. We have 9 countries in 6 territories. They want to build those schools in the Newport have G12 Volkswagen. They say, oh no, forget it. They only want to build few in federal multilateral high, 1 in Bon County, and they don't want someone to build it. And the other money we chop it. If I was living in another door, then you go properly and sit down.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Lee, you know about development. We'll take 2 more calls after this call. Call it your live.
Hello.
Yep, you're live, sir.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Michael Harris, and I come from St. Paul, Minnesota. Yeah, as always, thanks to all of you for making enough time every evening to come here and highlight Liberia's progress. As all of you have spoken, even the Justice Minister spoke, and everybody have said, you know, I think this wave of people just accusing people randomly is getting too much. Like Minister Pierre said it last time, I think individuals who feel injured by this kind of wild allegations without any proof, I think they should begin to take advantage of the law and bring some of these people to book.
Yeah, but Mr. Michael, you sue now. Somebody sue generally will say that way, Sean. The 5 minute, you know what people? How do you navigate that?
You have always said,
I know.
For your own issue, and
I'm playing devil's advocate, brother.
If someone proved to be a witch,
yeah,
they should be haunted. We don't care how someone's a witch or one is in the confines of the law. They can cry all the one for me.
Thank you.
I don't care about that.
Thank you.
And in addition to that, not only individuals who feel injured by that, the president has declared the drugs issue as a national security threat.
That's right.
You cannot have the guy like Central Water School, Every Snow, Rockney City, yesterday, and all the other person involved, the police director involved, the Nike, the foreign ministry. I think these people should be called by the national security to get information that they have that the security does not have.
I agree.
Let them be innocent, let them put it in the most of the press. The press prove themselves not to be credible. God ever question it.
I agree.
With that.
Thank you.
You can take those kind of action. These kind of falsehood will not stop, and it's kind of threatening to our very national security and it draws investigation issues. So
Thank you.
The government should begin to take those kind of actions. Thank you.
I agree with you, Michael, 100%. Caller, you're live. I think you're the final caller here for the night.
Good evening, panelists.
How you doing, my two?
And the call more. You get the picture from the background picture from ABO. And then if you can fix it out in Washington, we are talking. If you can fix it out, you won't put out there with it. By the way, it's good to have you here. To be honest, guys, I've been away. Not away. I watched the show after. And I just went praying in my own little place. Listen, I believe in my own spirit that Joseph Human Boycott made a covenant with God.
Yes.
And that it was in a secret place. I don't know what he and God told. I said, God, if you do this for me, I will do that for you. Because the Bible says when the righteous rule,
the people will rejoice.
Amen.
So that's what happened. I believe in my spirit that what happened. And secondly, 20 Friday that I went to school, they thought the man was so old that they were just right in the government making a ghetto.
Hey, Mama, talk again.
That's what they thought. That was the belief. For a drug man to take that quantity of drug to pass it to the way they were passing it, they thought that they would have just right on the old man. But they know the old man are catching baby. That's who he is. So Liberia will prosper. Whenever I call, I want to be positive that Liberia will prosper.
Amen.
Every evil tongue will cease and Liberia will prosper because of the covenant Joseph Newman Parker made in secret to his God. I'm not asking anybody to believe it. That's what I know.
Amen.
And so shall it be in Jesus' wonderful name.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. And I think any responsible president will always make a covenant with God. And I have no doubt, besides he being a deacon, the way the Papa speaks, everything he ends with is about God and blessing God. I agree with you, Matu. He made a covenant with God. And I pray that covenant develop Barclayville. Hey, develop something quick. Someone how can be certified that all I care about at the end of the day. Let's come to you in the studio. My man, Pop, way with us tonight.
It's been a beautiful show tonight. It's been a beautiful show tonight. You know, like the justice minister said, if you come out with the name of people, you should be able to provide the facts. People have the right to the freedom of speech, but it comes with responsibility. You come, in the first instance, you and Rodney started to throw people's names out there. Okay, those people didn't catch the bait. And then you come, you begin to call the foreign affairs minister's name. Okay. I mean, you call the president's family name. Then now you come, you left the president's family now, and now you come to the minister of foreign affairs. That is what I wrote a post today. I said, if Fallujah fell against to Stanton Waterspoon, the minister of foreign affairs would not fall. Seriously. I can't call her to hear me say. The minister of foreign affairs will not fall because our woman are soldier. Okay? Why do you think you were the battlefront commander in Fallujah that led the forces on top hill and Fallujah fell? The other the minister of foreign affairs will not fall in your hand. So you let you call me. That woman there, that woman already knew her name for herself. Okay? And that is why she's leading Liberia in the international community. So the foreign affairs will not fall when Fallujah fell. Fallujah fell because Fallujah have weak soldiers. Okay, Fallujah have weak soldiers. So we're moving, and I just want to tell everybody here thank you tonight. So
Tango Bravo. Tango Bravo. Hey, Abraham, go ahead. Let hear from you. Go on, get your photo there, yo.
More, go ahead.
Yeah, my eyes are burning. Okay, good night to everyone. It was a very, very great show, and I hope we can continue. Again, we want to echo the words of the Justice Minister. People just sit down and accuse other people without any modicum of evidence. That's not the way we are fighting the drug war. You got your pieces of evidence, carry them to the security people. They are investigating. And I see people publishing things. You go, you read, you say the person get a car, you put a lesson plate up, and you put one screenshot on from computer, then you say therefore the person is guilty of drug trade. That's not how it happened. You know, we need to be sensible. I know these sensational platforms, how they can call it saying journalism, they want sensationalize things so that they can get people gravitated towards them. Well, I'm happy that we have this show that is consistently informing the people, And I'm happy for what other people do. They take the important information, cut the video, and put them out there. On this note, I am extremely exhausted. I have to leave. Good night.
Thank you, Mo. Abraham.
Yeah, Eduardo, let me say, let me say thank you for the fantastic show. Um, but I just wanted to say a few things when it comes to the Liberia National Tourism Authority. You know, I strongly believe that the tourist sector is getting now to boom. As far as I am concerned, you know, the lady who is spearheading that authority, she is doing extremely well. So far that she can be able to bring Wadamaya, and let me say bravo to Emmanuel Kotu. Emmanuel Kotu did extremely well during the celebrations, and that he was able to pair with those guys. And it was not just only Wadamaya, and there were a lot of content creators, a lot of guys that came into our country to be able to showcase Liberia. And I strongly believe that that's the best way to go now. Liberia getting the attentions that we are getting from the July 26th celebrations. So let me say thank you to that lady who is spearheading the tourism authority. She need to do more as we expected her, and let her be able to invite her so she can be able to come here, be able to tell us what is it that she is having, because the tourist sector is a huge um, sector that can be able to employ a lot of young people. We must have said, you know, brother, see you when I see you, and then go see you when I see you.
Thank you, AB. Thank you so much. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for being here. Hopefully, me and Cole here, we don't have a feedback. I don't hear any feedback so far. For
Because
some
we're
reason,
not using we spoke to
I believe because it's coming from the system. It's not coming from because when I even mute and two separate people talking, the feedback is there.
So I think when you're not speaking, you should mute.
Yeah, I understand, but what I'm saying, you and I here now, I don't hear the feedback. That's what I meant. So,
Oh,
Carl,
I'm hearing it.
you're hearing feedback?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I will mute. It's coming from the system. Okay. So I don't have your pictures here. Let me look again. Okay, now I have them. So you can start. Let me mute.
Okay, so today we're gonna go over um, a series of pictures, and there might be some duplicates in here. Dwalu, forgive me. Just skip over the ones that we've seen already because I think I sent it twice. It might be taking a little long. So yesterday we talked about, or we didn't talk about that much. We played a video about oral history of the Vai people. So today I want to show some ethno-linguistic images and descriptions from the late 1800s and early 1900s of some of our people. We talk about tribes in Liberia. We like to use the word tribe. I prefer to use the word ethnicity for numerous reasons, but when we talk about our ethnic groups in Liberia, we talk about them like they're fixed and constant, and there's a box around. For example, there's a box around Mono people, there's a box around Basa people, and the truth is our ethnic identities are very fluid. The hard and fast boxes or categories we put ourselves in are very recent. Identity shifts so quickly among our people. I had a conversation with one of our ambassadors earlier today. We're discussing the county of Nimba. And people talk about Nimba like it's a culture, like it's some kind of ancient kingdom or something where you have rulers and, oh, this person is going to be the godfather of Nimba and all this kind of stuff. Like we have some legacy before 1964. Dwalu, Nimba County is 10, 12 years older than a lot of than us, right? It's not some ancient category or identification. Lofa County is is not that old. Our parents are older than these counties. I am older than Grand Cru County, right? I am older than Bopolu County. The concept of counties being ethnic identities or something to be loyal to is just bizarre in the context of our history and our culture. They are only administrative districts of the Republic of Liberia. They exist as administrative districts of our government. The people who reside within the counties are older, their heritage and their culture are older than the county identity and even than our national identity. One of the most profound things that our national orator said this year is that the Republic has a founding date, but the people do not. The Liberian people do not. I'm paraphrasing, something like that, right? The Republic has a founding date, its people do not. Meaning we cannot trace our existence and our history to one day in time. We exist as a people that transcend even these boundaries of counties and ethnicities and tribes. The reason I'm saying this is I'm going to show you some images and also the identities that we use to call ourselves. And I've told you all this before. I'm a Ma woman or Mano woman, as we say in modern ethnography. We have turned Ma into Mano and Da into Gio and all this kind of stuff. But these identities, when you take a DNA test, you'll be surprised to know that you might be closer related to people who you don't even realize you got connection to. I always joke with a lot of my friends who so militantly madingo to go take DNA. You told my money. You Loma man from Guinea. You know you Pele man from Guinea, but you militantly madingo because culture and history are not always the same. Your ethnic identity is not necessarily connected to your genetics and your biological history. Ethnicity and culture can be adopted. It can be imposed through war and conquest. You can be married into something and then adopt it. I'm a mono woman. My children believe to themselves who went to Liberia, they feel they from Cape Mount because I did not carry them Nimba, but next time I'll carry them Nimba and the Cape Mountaineers, can do what they want to do. But the point I'm making is ethnicity is just how I married Vi man, I'm mono woman, Vi man married me, I'm mono woman, is the same thing that has been happening in our region for centuries, for a very, very long time. Either intentionally, where some king somewhere says, okay, I'll give my son or my daughter to your son in this other region, or through war, somebody conquer somebody and take all their fine women and enslave the ugly ones. That's literally something that used to happen. This is a thing. So we are more connected. We are more alike than unalike. Do you have the photos now, Dwalu? Okay, let's cue the first one. The first one you can use a flat, right?
This,
Some of our go ahead, I'll mute.
no, that's okay. I said this one first.
Yes.
Okay.
So some, not all, some of our linguistic diversity is what I'm going to discuss today. Just some, not all. You can go to the next picture. So we don't have time to go into all. But some of the oldest people, the oldest intact ethnic groups in our region are the Gola, or what we call the Gola, are an ethnic group who share common cultural heritage, language, and history, and who live primarily in northwestern Liberia and eastern Sierra Leone. The Gola language is an isolate within the Niger-Congo language family, meaning that it's an isolate, it evolved in isolation, and is really unrelated to many other languages. It's really unrelated. And this is actually a picture, a photograph taken of a Gola woman, the oldest photo I'm aware of a Gola woman from the 1890s. This was taken around the year 18. Actually, I'm sorry, the 1880s. I apologize. 1880s. This was taken around the year 1880. And that's, as far as I know, the earliest known photograph known to me of a Gola woman. We'll go to the next one. And then you got the Mamba and Basa. So the word Basa, I've said this, many scholars believe it derives from the Portuguese word Bacia, which means low or shallow or shallow place, which means the Portuguese mapped our coast. This was a low-lying area, so they named the area Bassa back in the 1500s, maybe late 1400s. And then what happened is the word is so old that they started referring to the people of Bassa, the people of this low-lying coast. Then it just becomes the name of the ethnic group. But this is a photo of, again, from 1880 of a Mamba woman. I put Mamba and Bassa because in our modern ethnography, we refer to Mamba people as Bassa. All the subgroups had their own name, but we put them all under an umbrella that we call Basa. There were many, many groups of people who saw themselves as different from one another, but because their languages are related and similar, they all basically have different variations of the same language. They're all put together by Schwab in the 1930s under one umbrella called Basa people. But before that, we called them by different names. And then the Vai or Vai language, also called, they are the Galinas. In history, you'll see them called the Vai people, the Galinas people, the Vai people, but more recently it's spelled Vai. In older history books, it's spelled Vey or just referred to as Galinas. And it's not uncommon to refer to people by geography. Galinas was the area, the region. So if you're calling them Galinas people, it doesn't mean that their language or they were called Galinas. They're the people of Galinas. Just like the Basa people are the people of Basa, of the area that the Portuguese refer to as Basa. And the Portuguese called many places Basa, by the way, because it was a term to help ships navigate. This place is shallow, don't bring your ships here. Influenced by Mende culture and vocabulary. For this reason, it is often miscategorized as a Mende language. So the Vai people, as yesterday's oral history said, there were others that came and influenced these people. Languages and cultures evolve, people migrate and intermarry, and cultures merge. But the Vai language itself, nobody marched to the coast speaking Vai. It evolved right where it is, which means that just because people migrated and joined and merged with the Vai people doesn't mean that the Vai people themselves migrated. They are one of the oldest people to our region, and there's no language really related to their language outside of the region because it is also an isolate language. Does Vai borrow from other languages? The answer is yes, because at a time, Vai was also a trade language. But the fundamental core of this language is isolate, meaning it is independent of other languages. So whether people migrated and joined the Vai people is irrelevant to the fact that it existed before others came and joined it. Very important. Let's go to the next one. And this is a cloud, or what we call crew. Again, these words that we use to describe our people a lot of times are coming from outside of the culture, what outsiders call people. So the crew people don't call themselves crew. I mean, modern crew people call themselves crew, but they know that word is not from their language and is borrowed. They will say cloud or something like that. But crew derived from these crew towns or these towns with ship crews working in the late 1700s, early 1800s, these boys towns all along our coast of people that was mostly from the Clau ethnic group, but you also had Glebo and Basa and other ethnic young men, mostly in these boys towns, working and serving these ships, trying to look for opportunities to earn a living. So the word crew is not actually the name of the people. We officially recognize it as the name of the people today, but historically that's not, and even culturally, that's not what the people call themselves. As far as I know, again, this is from around 1880. There are other photos of crew people taken around that time period. So this is not the oldest, but it's one of the oldest. So this is a beautiful young crew woman photographed around 1880. And as the Director General of the Cabinet reminded me when he saw another photo from around this time period of a lot of crew women gathered together, he said, wow, this is a display of wealth. And I agree with him. This was a wealthy person. The jewelry that she wore, the beads, the bracelets, everything that she's wearing is wealth, gold. Much of this adornment was gold. Even the cloth that was woven that she wore around her waist, extremely valuable. The trinkets in her hair. You hear the Europeans writing about them at the time that they had gold woven into their hair. Imagine taking gold thread and needles and trinkets and decorating your hair with pure gold. This is the kind of wealth that was displayed on our coast. And this is contemporary with the Republic. This is one of my people here. This is a Ma woman, Mano, Ma way, Ma, and we say Mano today in modern ethnography. Look at this sister's hair. Look at her hair. I mean, the hairstyle. So you find this hairstyle all throughout the Guinea Forest region, and among even you go northwest, you see this similar among the Fulani. You see this among the Malinke. You see this in Mali. You see this also in the Guinea Forest, in the Guinea Forest region. This hairstyle for me is mesmerizing. It's beautiful, and I love it. But again, she's part of a Mendi family of people, and which includes the Pella, the Loma, the Bandi, Maninka, etc. I'm showing all of these images because we have to see the similarities in the way that they dress, the way that they adorn themselves. Go back one. This picture of the Mono woman is not as old as the other women that were photographed on the coast. This picture is from 1926. The others are from 1880. So I just wanted to make that point. This is much more recent. And this is a picture of an ordinary girl. Even though her hairstyle is so elaborate, she's just an ordinary girl. She had no real social status, and she was photographed. The other women were women of high status in their cultures, in their communities. Let's go to the next one. This is another woman, a Dogon woman, or what we call Day, in Western Liberia, and she is also a woman of high status, photographed in around 1880. And we have a thing we say in Liberia, we say the Kwa languages. But if you look up our language branches and families, Kwa is actually a misnomer. Kru is actually the branch of the language family, not Kwa. So the Kru or Crow languages is what we put Day in all these languages under. And again, the Basa, the Grable, the Day, all these people fall the Bela. These people all fall under some of the oldest languages spoken in our region. And it is similar to Basa in the lexical sense. But it's not, it's considered, it's classified by linguists as a separate language. But this is again a woman of high status. You can tell by the fabric that she's using to adorn herself. Extremely wealthy person from that time period. Let's go to the next one. And
That's the last one.
I think this is a duplicate.
Okay, that was the last one.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. So that's it?
Yeah, so does anyone have any questions or comments? I was told yesterday that we don't take questions, we just do the history next week. So let one of the last question I beg you.
Yeah, if they want to call in, if they got any question, they can call into the show, or they can write it and I'll type it. Yeah, exactly. This other person said, Gola Queen here, call. I hope you are training your successor in all the knowledge. Library is also in dire need of its growth. Well, we can. It takes a lot of commitment, I guess. If you're willing to commit, this one say all that is going on is calculated, set up. Okay, that's before this. This means I'm older. Somebody said, okay, that's 10. I'm older than some of the counties in Liberia. Yes, according to what we're hearing. We know Bapalu was on a charge state, if you remember. So Bapalu is relatively recent. If you think about some of the counties, I mean, they're relatively recent.
I mean, Grand Crew was under Samuel Doe. right? And I'm older than what the 1985, of course. So you got Grand Cru, all the counties, River G, um, all those counties were created, after the fact. So the point I'm making is not that the counties are not legitimate. My point I'm making is that we attach too much to things, and it's become a thing where, you know, my county, like what are you talking about? It's just an administrative district. Talk about your country, not your county, your county. Because by
Can we see the
right,
question on the screen?
they can just change your county. You know that administration can come in and say, you know what, these administrative districts are unequal. Let's redraw the lines for the county boundaries. Then your county would change. What you would say then? How you attach your identity to something that's supposed to be based on population density? It's almost arbitrary. So your ethnic identity, your national identity should have more value. We don't, we've become so political as a society that we attach our whole value to election districts and who we can elect. It's weird, you know. Tracy, what is she asking? Sis called Gullah people in South Carolina are the same. Yeah, so there's a theory that the Gola and the Gisi, the Gullah and the Geechee, I believe that it derives from there. There's debate about it. A lot of ethnographers believe that many of the Gullah and Geechee people derive from Liberia and Sierra Leone, which would make sense. So you got the Gola Geechee, the Gullah Geechee. Yes, Sister Tenen Cooper, country above county. Well, it has to be country above county because the county only exists because of the country. There's no Grand Bassa County outside of Liberia, which is why I was a bit annoyed when I went to Bassa and they were trying to age the county before the Republic. And I was like, and then they're giving it an age based on the Commonwealth, which was abolished and replaced by the Republic. And the place was called Bassa before repatriated people came. The Portuguese named it that back based on the trading route in the early 1500s. So why are we attaching all of this? I loved going to Grand Bassa, but there should have been more discussion about the age of the county. The county cannot be older than the country. It's just an administrative district. And the Commonwealth, which you want to attach the name Bassa to, no longer exists. So once you die, you don't keep aging, right? You were replaced by the Republic. So you die, you don't continue to age. So the Commonwealth existed for this long in comparison to the rest of our history. So I think some of that should have been debated.
Yeah,
But
and I think we hurt us when and sometimes people don't know it, but we hurt us heavily if we put a subdivision before the entire country. Not because, like I would just say, if there is a redistribution in a way where they say no wrong, we don't have counties anymore. We're going to zone the country into 5 economic zones. Then where you would say you belong to a zone,
Or
you
if
keep
they just
changing.
redraw the lines for the counties.
Yeah, or
They
redraw
keep the county and say we got to draw the county line so that it's equal population. What you'll get vexed because now you're not in Neighbor, you're in Bong, or you're no longer in Bong, you're in Magibi, you'll get vexed. When they merge Grand Cru with River G and these places and put it back into Sino, you'll get vexed. What will you say? This is because it's arbitrary. It's about population, as it should have been anyway.
And I mean, Cole, this is what some of these classes are for us to put it on a standard. Sometimes some people really don't understand that. And this is why we really, really attach these pettiness. Even during the war, we killed each other over this nonsense as well. Cole, I'm muting you because of the echo. But coming.
Sorry, the I see Johnson Gonkanu man has come saying Grand Bassam and Ivory Coast. There's no connection really between that. Grand Bassam has a completely different linguistic history and all of that. The etymology of the word Bassam and Bassa are not the same. But maybe because it sounds alike, I could see why you're drawing a conclusion, but there's no relationship. You're muted, Walu.
Yeah, I said thank you so much. I want to do my parting statement tonight, and I want people to continue to understand this. The president, the speech he gave today, if you have time, I want you to go back and listen to it and understand what the president is trying to get at. The issue of drugs in our country is not going to be removed by one person. Everybody has to play their role. I'm not saying you should go ahead and confront drug dealers. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if drug is being sold in your community, you can call anonymously to a police station and say, listen, in this community, this is what's happening. Everybody in the country has to work as one to get this thing out of our country. And I'm going to speak directly to the police officers, especially those on the highways. You have a responsibility. The way the president has shown tremendous seriousness being attached to the drug issue, if you're amending a checkpoint and drug pass through that checkpoint, they could hold you culpable. They will say you're not doing your job or you took bribe. So it is in your own personal best interest, not just for your job, but for your country especially, to check every car, every vehicle that is coming out there. If you suspect something, make sure you do your job. Don't take $10, don't take $5. You allow the drugs to come forward. They will arrest you, they will disrobe you. You're not going to be police officer anymore. You could possibly go to jail. And they will claim that you're facilitating this effort. I'm pretty sure you are getting some training. I'm pretty sure Colonel Coleman is making sure you guys are properly trained to make sure you understand this. In the military, we used to have the saying, assignment is greater than rank. Even if it's Colonel Coleman's vehicle and you suspect something, say, Chief, I have to inspect your car. I know in Liberia it's a big deal. While the show was going on, somebody posted here about why if they drop points to a senator or representative, are they going to arrest them too? And they were asking a very valid question. Yes, that's what the president is saying. Wherever it leads, there will be no sacred cows. If that means you're going to cause noise, you cause noise in the country. And to my brother, when Michael called, he's right. Look, listen, I have no pity on anybody who wants to destroy my children. Let me just put it that way. I have no pity. In fact, I want you 6 feet dead. That's how I think about it. Because I'm not going to suffer my entire life to raise young men and women that can carry on my legacy, and I just watch you destroy them while I sit and do nothing. If you're doing that, you're destroying, you're erasing yourself. Like I mentioned, our relative, my own little brother, he's literally on drugs right now. In fact, he just sold my mother's land that is not for sale. He went in, and he got in, I bought it for him. I just heard the bill of massive mansion on it. It will get broken down when I get to the country. It's a waste of time, and I already told them, don't build it. Oh, Chokon sold it to, I said, I don't care if Chokon sold it to you. Chokon cannot sell that facility. Chokon is a drug addict. He's literally a Zogo in the streets. They take him to rehab. He run away from there. He's all over the city. This is affecting real people across our country. I don't know any Liberian now. It may not be direct, but I don't know any Liberian now called in Liberia that don't have a relative, whether extended family, that is involved in the drug thing or taking drugs, destroying our children. So this is how serious this has gotten. So at the end of the day, if we continue to sit and we don't approach it with the degree of seriousness that is required for this, we are all going to be in serious danger. I want you to Google, if you have time, go so you guys go on YouTube and see some of the societies, even here in America, downtown Philadelphia. Here in Boston, we have something called the Methadone Mile. You go on that street, there are 10,000 police officers 24/7 every single day on the Methadone Mile. There will be 1 to 3 people that will overdose. That's how serious this drug is. This is America. They cannot fight it. Imagine if this thing takes hold in our country. It's going to be a serious problem. So everybody in Liberia, you've been deputized. Not only you can go arrest anybody, but when you see join your community, you got to say something. Call the DEA, call the police officer. Want drugs out of your community. Jordan, just start right there. It will destroy our daughter them. It will destroy our children. It will destroy the churches. It will destroy the mosque. It will destroy everything. And then all always suffer. There will be so much chaos in our country. Before I close, I want you to Google El Salvador. When the president, before the new president fixed it, I forgot his name. Every single day in El Salvador, every single day, I don't say one day, over 50 people will be murdered. Every day from the drug trade. Until the new president came in, the man had gonna hand. The first thing they made, they build one big prison. The prison, I think the prison can hold, is supposed to hold 25,000 people. The team four, they need new prison. And that's how you fight this thing. We want it out of Liberia. And I'm going to say big kudos to the president for really doing this, Carl, because if you listen to President Bwaka, if you listen to his tone, his posture, you know the papi not messing around. Again, respect yourself before you disgrace yourself. That is messy. Because if you disgrace yourself, we have been sorry for no man. Man said they will carry you. So before I go. Yeah.
Used to say check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Before you wreck yourself, exactly. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Yep.
But Dwalu, the thing you're saying, look, the calamity that Liberia avoided by electing President Boycott, when we said save the state, we meant it. When we said save the state, we meant it. Do you know what would have happened if we had 6 more years of irresponsible leadership? 6 more years of collusion with the cartel. Like I said, this thing transcends political parties. Many of the people involved in this thing have nothing to do with government. They in the private sector, they in the security sector, which government come, government go, the security sector is constant. Imagine if there was no accountability at the top. We had 6 years, Dwalu, there was no reshuffle. The main fire anybody. People were sanctioned by the U.S. government for committing crimes against the Liberian people. They remained there until he left, until the Liberian people voted him out. People were sanctioned for committing crimes against the Liberian people. Foreign countries had to sanction them. They were not held accountable in Liberia. And we're sitting down here. Do you know what it means, what President Boycott is doing for that country? Do you know what it means for that man to stand up and say, no more, our children, our children's children will inherit a better Liberia? The president is not doing this for self-promotion or because he's a politician. He's doing this for posterity. He's doing it for children that he will never see, for generations that he will never see. They will benefit from his courage. Children that have not been born. Do you know what kind of courage that takes? President Boycott, thank you. And all of your able-bodied lieutenants, your justice minister, and everyone that is supporting your effort to clean up our country and prevent calamity. Y'all, thank you. May God continue to strengthen you in this fight. I believe this fight is also spiritual, it's physical, it's all of those things. And may God continue to strengthen you, and may God continue to bless our country and preserve and protect our president so he can deliver us from this place that we find ourselves in.
Amen. Amen to that. Yo, thank you so much, man. God willing, see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yeah, Liberia developing. This is the Class Reloaded, the #1 online show that brings the truth. Showcasing JNB and JKK progress all across the country.
The Class Reloaded, we are online every day. Showcasing progress the Liberian way.
Well,
JMB and JKK, they're making the way. The Class Reloaded, we're shining today. Hey. Oh.
From Monrovia City to the other counties, development talk shake the country. We talk the truth, we don't lie. The rescue mission making people smile. Roads getting better, schools better, electricity stable, no more hoping. We see the change, we see the light. Unity Party doing things right. Who talk the facts?
The Class Reloaded.
Who bring the vibe?
The Class Reloaded.
Support development.
The Class Reloaded.
Who better arise again?
Oh yes we can.
Who talk the facts?
The Class Reloaded.
Who bring the vibe?
The Class Reloaded.
Support development.
The Class Reloaded.
Who better arise again?
Oh yes we can. The Class Reloaded, we are online every day.
Every day.
Showcasing progress the Liberian way.
Well, JMB and JKK, they're making the way. The Class Reloaded, we shining today. Turn up the sound, let the people dance. Liberia progress, we get the chance. No fake news, we bring the proof. The The class reloaded, always in the booth. From social media to the street corner, everybody talking about the new